recognizing exceptional work in the field of education. We at Z take this opportunity to acknowledge and applaud the efforts of the educational leaders, institutions, and teachers who went beyond the mile and demonstrated excellence in the field of education. The journey of the Edufuture Excellence Award started in 2021. Our first edition received a lot of warmth and appreciation from all our viewers. It was the COVID era during which we launched the first edition, with an aim to recognize the educators in the higher education category. After which, we hosted the second edition of the Z Edufuture Excellence Awards on a very larger scale. But ladies and gentlemen, what is different during our third edition, different this time, is that we are now covering the entire education fraternity, from kindergarten to post-graduation. Z Edufuture Excellence Award salutes the exemplary contribution of the educators right from where it starts, kindergarten, and well, goes beyond post-graduation. On that note, I would now like to invite Mr. Madhusuman, Chief Business Officer, WION and Z Business, under whose dynamic leadership the platforms have achieved greater heights. So I request you to please come on the stage and share your thoughts on education, perhaps the challenges and the victories that you faced.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think the organizers have set the bar really low by inviting somebody like me to invite you to this August occasion. I really feel like an imposter here because I barely passed my BA, I failed in my LLB, and I ended up being a journalist. When I explained that to a leading Indian newspaper about 15 years ago as to how I ended up with my then employer Reuters, I said I failed in my LLB and ended up doing journalism. And they tweaked my quote. They said, Madhu was all set to become a corporate lawyer. So I would like to believe that you guys make India and make Indians believe in their self-worth, talent, and ability to achieve. And to go back, I do feel like an imposter. You are distinguished people. When I see IIM, IIT, and other private institutions that are really, really pushing and driving us to greater glory in the years to come, I can only bow my head with absolute respect and wish you all the very best, and also hope that whatever you did during the pandemic will only be an example of how we can innovate to drive our education strategy, because I saw the way, I have a 15-year-old son or a 16-year-old son, I saw the way his curriculum and his teachers kind of really tried to innovate to kind of bring their curriculum online and help the kids or prevent the kids from falling off the rails. So, and my own mother was a school teacher in my small town in Trivandrum. So if at all I have something, it's absolute respect. In my 25 years in media, where 17 of them were as a journalist, the maximum sense of fulfillment was when I went back to IMC, which was where I did my journalism. I know Vivek is here, you were a student of IMC. And when I could spend time with the students there, that gave me more fulfillment than doing any kind of reporting, whether it's from Kargil or wherever else we were doing hostile environment reporting in, let's say, Kargil, Asian tsunami, and the Mumbai terror attacks, the financial meltdown. None of that gave me the fulfillment that I got when I used to go back to IMC and spend some time with aspiring and budding journalists and see the dream in their eyes and help nudge them towards achieving those dreams. I sincerely hope that you are all in education for the right reasons, because without education, India will not be whatever we want to be. And I am very clear about that. And I am here because I just got fortunate. I can't be a template. I hope you guys will set the right template for people to achieve tremendous levels of success. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming and attending the third year of Z Education Awards. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your journey with us and emphasizing on the importance of education. Now, without any further delay, I would like to call on the stage our guest of honor, Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri, National Award-winning director and best-selling author. I would also like to call on stage Madhu Suman, Chief Business Officer, WION and Z Business, and Dr. Loya, Chief Group Innovation and Technology Officer, Z, and Dinesh Garg, CFO, Z Media, to please come on the stage and light the lamp as we commence today's event. Can we have a round of applause for all our guests, please? Thank you so much. We will now be unfolding the Edufuture Excellence Awards 2023. And now take this opportunity to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our jury members whose acumen has enabled us to decipher the better amongst the best. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to introduce our jury members. The jury session will be moderated by Sapna Sukul ma'am. Ma'am, please come up on the stage. Can we have a round of applause for Sapna Sukul? I would also like to call on stage Dr. Sumer Bahadur Singh, President of the Boarding Schools of Association. So I request you to please come on the stage. Can we have a round of applause for Dr. Singh? Dr. Rehan Khan Suri, Pro Vice Chancellor of Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University of Delhi. And Dr. Amita Mullah Vatal, Chairperson and Executive Director, Education, Innovations and Training, DLF Foundation Schools and Scholarships Programs. And Professor Dibakar Rakshit from IIT Delhi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had other two jury members as well. Dr. Prafulla Agnihotri, Director IIM Sirmaur, former Professor IIM Kolkata, and Sandeep Kumar, former Ambassador to Ireland and Croatia. They both played very important roles in deciding the winners, but unfortunately, they could not be with us for the event today. May I now request the August gathering to give a round of applause for our jury members. The jury members will now enlighten us on their journey in deciding the winners, the parameters that were set in place, and how stringent it was to choose the winners for all the categories.
Thank you so much, Mon. Thank you all of you for honoring Z Media for being our jury today. So, good morning and welcome to all of you, the ones who have been awarded this award, Edufuture Excellence Award. This is our third year of hosting this award. We started during pandemic and we are delighted that this year we are also hosting few schools. And I would like to just ask my dear jury members a few questions, which are because they If we read their profile, the ones who don't know them, you can just open LinkedIn or Google and you'll read pages and pages and pages about them. Before we decided the winners, we had a Zoom meeting with them and we shared the results. So I'm grateful and thankful to all of them who gave me the titles, who judged them for the universities and the schools which they have come, why they are here. So starting with Sumer sir, who has also been my mentor and helping me with my journey in this career for past 25 years. Sir, you are an icon in education and you have taught in China and UK and you are a role model for so many of us. So I would like to ask you that how important it is to head these institutions and also what are the significant changes taking place in education today?
Sapna, thank you for inviting me. Thank you, all of you in the audience, and congratulations to all those who have received awards. See, God has given each and every child a particular talent, a passion. The problem is that we don't always recognize it or give them the opportunity to recognize it. Now, there was a time, and I think it's changing now, hopefully, where there was the sausage factory effect, where 98% of the children who went into a school thought differently to each other. And by the time they finished school, only 2 of them thought differently to the other 98%. And this was the freaks who were still thinking the way they did when they were very small. The rest of the people actually adjusted to what their peers wanted them to become. Science was the only way to go forward. Humanities was almost unheard of, certainly not respected. And that has changed hugely. If you look at the schools, they had all adopted the Roman military system of administration. Prefects, monitors. This was a Roman military system to be able to control people. The Greek system or the Platonic system was totally different. There are very few schools in the world which follow it, one of them being Gordonston in Scotland, where you have the guardian, not the head boy, you have helpers, not prefects. Huge difference between the two. One is helping people grow and one is controlling people to make sure there is discipline. Now I can see that the Roman system may still be there in name, but it is gradually being phased out. Have an importance given to academics, and there was a huge importance given to sport, which is great, nothing wrong with that, but importance given to nothing else. So what about captains of service, captains of music, dance, adventure? Are those things not important? It's gradually coming into the system now, and one of the reasons why it's coming in is because not only are schools wanting to give opportunities to children to explore their passions, but also because universities and colleges have started recognizing that everyone is getting in the 90s. How do they distinguish between one student and the next? They have to look at something beyond the marks. And that is where they need evidences to show that yes, you have a passion, you have followed it, you have maybe done an internship, maybe you've traveled, maybe independently, maybe someone who is into service, and those are the things that are going to make a difference into your resume in a college.
Yes, sir.
If you look at parents or prospective parents, and what are they looking for? They're no longer going to be asking schools, what is your average percentage in class 12? How many people got 95 and above? Because that's become such a ridiculous question. Everyone is getting such high marks. So there are going to be 2 questions that are going to be asked in the future. It may happen 2 years from now, it may happen sooner, it may take a little longer. But the two questions are going to be, what are your placements like? What are the achievements of your alumni? These are going to be the two questions. And believe me that marks are not going to be the end deciding point of what school a child is put into. Now, I was fortunate to meet and interact with and work with a Vice Chancellor, Dominique Shellard, who was, the Vice Chancellor of De Montfort University in England. And he was the first person that I know of who actually introduced compulsory modules on entrepreneurship in every single course in the university. And he said two things. One is, inflation comes, you get a job, but inflation kills your earning capacity. You need to get the experience, but then you also need the opportunity to be able to branch off on your own with a startup or something else so that you beat inflation and also you create more jobs. And I think this is something which is a huge lesson which I learned. When I was in China, I spent half a day with a well-known entrepreneur, Jack Ma, who asked me to be a lecturer, visiting lecturer in China at a school of entrepreneurship which he was opening. And he asked me, what would you lecture on? And I said, leadership. And he said, no, leadership cannot be taught. Either you are born a leader or not. It took me half a day to convince him that leadership can be taught. And he then told his staff, change the name of the proposed school from School for Entrepreneurs to School for Leadership. Leadership has been taught, can be taught, and it all depends on opportunities. So opportunities is something which is vital to the whole education system. When I came back from China, I registered as a trademark an organization called School of Opportunity. But it remained dormant for 6 years until recently some very young boys in their 20s came and met me and told me that they had great plans for giving some kind of opportunity to students who don't have them at the moment. And the organization was called MU20. So we combined and we have formed MU20 School of Opportunity. It's not an actual physical school. Locations around the country. I have given my 50 acres for that, but they organized a summit recently. They had 5,000 students applying for it. 2,000 actually attended.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Because you're talking so much about skills and entrepreneurship and so on and so forth, so we have an expert here, Professor Rehan Suri, who runs the Delhi Skill University, which is the only skill university in India which started, and he chose an award for one of the schools, which is School of Entrepreneurship, which has opened in India for the first time. You'll be meeting that school also very soon. So, sir, what is your view on when you talk about, sir is talking about entrepreneurship and skills? So I guess he knew that this question is coming to you. So just elaborate a little bit on that, and what does the word excellence mean to you after NEP?
Okay. First of all, thank you very much, Z, for organizing such a beautiful event and recognizing the institutions, especially educational institutions, for their commendable efforts in terms of achieving excellence and meeting the SDG 4 quality education. Thank you very much, and inviting me here. For me, excellence is basically when you are preparing your team, your students for the future. You are preparing them to meet the challenges of the future. If your approach is futuristic, and it is also very relevant name, Edufuture Excellence, because the moment one student is coming to any institution, they'll come out in the profession or in the life in terms of their own practical aspects. Generally after 10 years, and especially in the higher education, they're coming after 5 years or 4 years. So when any institution is focusing on the skill set, because excellence is not static, it's dynamic. It's again relative also. And when you are just meeting some standards, all the time those benchmarks are changing. It's moving further. Maybe excellence, say 20 years ago, something different, but now everything is changed. Every 5 years, 30% category of jobs are obsolete. Skills are unstable. There is instability of skills. So when any institution is focusing on the holistic development of the students, that is basically the excellence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Now coming to ma'am, so there are two, you can see that two people from school and two people from colleges. So they were instrumental in getting who should be chosen and why they should be chosen. So ma'am, you have been receiving awards and accolades, and I have seen you like, I admire ma'am for who she is, and I have learned a lot, and so many awards you have received. You name the award and it is there. So what are awards to you? Like, how do you define awards, these, especially our awards now?
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate Z for such a wonderful initiative. What a marvelous endeavor. Let's give them a big clap, please. Sukul, who is a symbol of a person who's reinvented herself. That's exactly what we require in today's world, reinvention. And you've done it so amazingly, Sukul. Congratulations to you. I just want to do a quick story, and which is, मेरे देश का बचपन कुछ लापता है, थोड़ा मुझको थोड़ा तुमको पता है, आओ इसको मिलकर ढूंढे जरा, ये मिल जाएगा ये मुझको पता है, मेरे देश का बचपन कुछ लापता है. You know, I also had a very lost childhood, because if you are a child of a man who went down with his ship, INS Kukri, in the 71 war, and got the Mahavir Chakra for saving the lives of so many sailors and officers, and giving his life jacket to his second in command, and not leaving his ship because he said, I will not leave my boys behind. Now, the problem is that how do you contend with an award like a Mahavir Chakra? So my entire life has been that no award is good enough for me, at least. Because if a man died for a cause, how do you live for a cause? And how do you move forward to it? I think perhaps the greatest learning I found, and that's why I became an educator, and I thought of it at the age of 14 when he passed, is that if war begins in the minds of men, it's in the minds of men we have to find peace. And which are the place but the schoolrooms? Okay? We define ourselves with awards. We define ourselves with 15-minute bites on the television. We define ourselves by newspaper clippings. I think the most important thing is to define ourselves as educators as to what lies in our heart as far as our children are concerned. It is the heart of a child, that within that lies our award. And I know that awards are important. I know they're very important. I know that an organization and a corporate like Z gives awards which are meaningful, which are part of their CSR, which are also evoking and empowering educators. But the point is, there are so many fly-by-night agencies where you buy awards. Please refrain from that. Because you have 2,500 for being the best school, 5,000 for being an innovative school, 6,500 for being this and that, and the emails are filled with stuff like that. Perhaps one of the greatest awards that I got is when children meet me in mufassils, in small towns, in airports, in railway stations, and say, ma'am, you said this in the assembly. I will never forget it. It's changed my life. That is the greatest award for an educator. Having said that, it's good. It's very nice to be recognized. It's very nice to be accepted by the peer and by society at large. But let us remember this, that ultimately it's just that, and people move on, and human memory is very short. It's the child who remembers you. It's the changes that you've made that really will take you into the future, and you will touch eternity. So thank you, Z, for that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Professor Dibakar, he's just to know him, he's just understanding India a little bit more. He is an IITian who went to Australia, worked there for 10 years, and he's come back to India. So he's finding everything very different and new now. So I was talking to him, I said, what question should I pose to you? He says, let me give my views that what exactly education means to him now after his return from after 9 or 10 years when he was in Australia. So over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, again, I want to thank Z for giving me this opportunity. Basically, it's a very warm feeling to be in this ecosystem. And to start with, I will say about India, India is a spiritual land, a land where religion and philosophy had attained their culminating point, the inheritor of a culture that had withstood the ravages of time, a nation with a firm belief in the values of tolerance and non-violence. And the same thing gets echoed when we are interacting with our students in day-to-day classes. The main thing which I like about this profession is it is a very live feedback which we get from our students when we are interacting in the class. And they take them very seriously, and they try to nurture them throughout and come up as heroes in their life. And this is very much echoed by our new education policy also, which highly speaks about the equality, quality, and accessibility of education. So overall, these are some of the salient features of Indian education system which attracted me back to be here and to give something to this country. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, I would like all the jury members to be, thank you so much for being with us. And we will be honoring the people who you have selected. And thank you, Z. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that session and sharing anecdotes with us. I would request the jury members to please stay on the stage as we have a small token of appreciation for all of you. I would now request Mr. Abhay Hoja, CEO Z Media, to please come up on the stage and present mementos to our esteemed jury members this afternoon. Can we have a round of applause for all our jury members? And that is Professor Dibakar Rakshit from IIT Delhi. Can we have a round of applause for Professor Rakshit? Dr. Amila Mullah Wattal, Chairperson and Executive Director, Education Innovations and Training, DLF Foundation Schools and Scholarship Programs. Can we have a round of applause for Dr. Wattal? And Dr. Rehan Khan Suri, Pro Vice Chancellor of Delhi Scale and Entrepreneurship University of Delhi. And Dr. Sumer Bahadur Singh, President of the Boarding School of Association. Can we have a round of applause for our esteemed jury members who took our time in deciphering the winners of today's event. Of course, Sapna Sukul ma'am. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to call on stage our guest of honor, Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri. Well, he needs no introduction as he is one of the known personalities in the cinema world. He has created a stir with his path-breaking work in the world of cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri. He's a national award-winning director and best-selling author. So may I request you to please come up on the stage and also share a few words with us on your journey as well as your contribution in the world through the broadcast media.
Thank you very much. I wasn't prepared to give any speech. I thought I am here to give awards. So I don't think it's time for long lectures from me when there are so many teachers are here. But just a couple of things I can share with you. I am a son of a professor. So I am also from a civilization and culture where we are taught that if you have to touch feet, if you choose between touching feet of God, your parents and teacher, then teacher should be the first you touch their feet. I am very proud to belong to a land and a civilization. Perhaps we are the only civilization in this entire history of humanity which has a goddess dedicated to education, Saraswati. It's very unfortunate. When I was growing up, people used to gift lots of statues of Saraswati in almost every middle class house. You would find Saraswati in a very prominent place. Anybody who's 50 plus would acknowledge that. It's very sad that these days you find Durga and Lakshmi, but no Saraswati in most of the houses. Nobody talks about Saraswati. That's why I celebrated Saraswati in my last film, The Kashmir Files. In fact, the protagonist, the lady, she's called Sharda. There are just two things I want to share with you, which is very often we have education in our country has become statistics. How many students are in my university? A lot of universities invite me. And they always, the vice chancellors and the founders and everybody, when they present, they tell me, oh, we have got 50,000 students. I was in lovely university and they were saying we have got the largest number of students. Everybody is talking about the size of the universities and colleges, and they're talking about the number of students. Nobody is talking about how many entrepreneurs, how many innovators have come out of that. What are they teaching? They say we have got multiple courses, which is like, it's fine. But I believe now it's time for India to relook at education. If a country has to grow, trust me, a country never ever is going to develop with highways and expressways. It may sound glamorous and beautiful, but if US is your role model, then trust me, US is US because of their universities. Their universities, I went to Harvard and I know how their mind functions. The only thing they care about is how to get the best talent across the world from anywhere. In US, you will not get a visa if you are a qualified engineer, but you will get it easily if you are a good student. And the idea is when your children, when the younger generation believes in disrupting the system, when they are not afraid to disrupt the system, then only your economy, your society, your culture, your democracy, your equality, your secularism, everything will flourish. And which is true. It's absolutely true. We are in a, I am not here to give you a sad this thing, but since first time I'm in a group of people who believe in education, therefore I have to be very honest. Yes, education is very important, but it is also very important to ask what education actually means. We cannot be proud of the fact that we are churning out loyal, obeying servants for a corporate world. We need to educate our children to experiment right from childhood, rather than conditioning their minds that this is what you have to become when you grow up. You have to force them somehow to experiment, to learn from that, and then with their experience recondition themselves. Before I end, I just want to give you an insight, and it's a very, very important insight. This will open your eyes. NASA conducted a nationwide survey of almost 200,000 students when they were 5-year-old. Because they thought, what if we identify very creatively talented children when they are 5, when they go to school, at that stage, and then can we groom and cultivate them so that they become useful to us? And they did this test, that how many of these students were creative genius and how many were creative duffers. This was the spectrum. Can anybody guess how many were creative genius when they were 5-year-old? Any guess? 98%. And 2% who did not qualify for creative excellence were autism and some kind of motor coordination problems. Then they conducted exactly the same, a test on the same number of sample of students when they were 10 years old. Now, the figure was only 53 or some odd percent, 33% students were creative genius and rest were creative duffers. Then again they conducted when they were 15-year-old, and this figure turned out to be 13% genius and rest were creative duffers. And the final stage they conducted when they were 20 years old, at the end of their college. Guess what were the figures? 98% were creative duffers and only 2% were creative geniuses. This is what template-based education does. I think India needs to take initiative and change the whole thing and make more enterprising students, teach them enterprise, teach them innovation, and then only I think we'll succeed. You are great people. I hope you can take this thought forward. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, sir, for being so candid with your experience. I would request you to please stay on the stage, and I would also request Madhusuman sir to please come on the stage as we distribute our first set of awards. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the Best University Award, Amity University, Noida. May we have a round of applause. Can we have a round of applause for the Best University Award, Amity University, Noida. The Excellence in Industry Connect Award goes to New Delhi Institute of Management. Can we have a round of applause for the Excellence in Industry Connect Award, New Delhi Institute of Management? Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for the New Delhi Institute of Management? It gets the Excellence in Industry Connect Award. University goes to NIIT University, Neemrana, Alwar, Rajasthan. Can we have a round of applause for the Best Environment Friendly University, NIIT University, Neemrana, Alwar, Rajasthan. Let's move on to our other set of awards, the Best Armed Forces Motivational Cell. And the award goes to Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. Can we have a round of applause for the Best Armed Forces Motivational Cell Award, and it goes to Parul University, Vadodara, Gujarat. The most emerging university central goes to Madhyanchal Professional University, Bhopal. Can we have a round of applause for the most emerging university central, Madhyanchal Professional University, Bhopal. Best University in Placements, it goes to Chitkara University, Patiala, Punjab. Can we have a round of applause for the Best University in Placements? And the award goes to Chitkara University, Patiala, Punjab. Can we have a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Best University in Placements Awards? And it goes to Chitkara University, Patiala, Punjab. And the award for the innovative international partnerships with universities in South Asia, it goes to University of Technology, Sydney, UTS, Australia. Can we have a round of applause for the innovative international partnerships with University in South Asia award, and it goes to University of Technology, Sydney, UTS, Australia. Best Infrastructure in Central India award. It goes to the Jagran Lakes City University, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. A round of applause for the Best Infrastructure in Central India award. It goes to Jagran Lake City University, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. And the Best Environmental Research University Award goes to Terry University, Vasant Kunj, Delhi. Can we have a round of applause for the Best Environmental Research University? And the award goes to Terry University, Vasant Kunj, Delhi. Ladies and gentlemen, can you have a round of applause for the Best Environmental Research University? And the award goes to Terry University, Vasant Kunj, Delhi. Well, the most promising university in technology north, the award goes to Shobhit University, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Can we have a round of applause for the most promising university in technology? The award goes to Shobhit University, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. And the Outstanding Placement Driven University in Northeast India, the award goes to Assam Downtown University. Can we have a round of applause for the Outstanding Placement Driven University in Northeast India? And the award goes to Assam Downtown University. National Day School of the Year. The award goes to Billabong High International School, Bhopal. Can we have a round of applause for the Best International Day School of the Year? And the award goes to Billabong High International School, Bhopal. In college infrastructure in North India, the award goes to Noida International University. Can we have a round of applause for the most outstanding college infrastructure in North India? And the award goes to Noida International University. The award for the excellence in environmental practices. The award goes to Springdale Senior Secondary School, Assam. Can we have a round of applause for Excellence in Environmental Practices Award? The award goes to Springdale Senior Secondary School, Assam. And the Excellence in MUN, it goes to Bluebells Group of Schools, Gurugram. And the award for the excellence in MUN goes to... Right. Excellence in environmental practices, Springdale Senior Secondary School, Assam. And lastly, excellence in MUN, the award goes to Bluebells Group of Schools, Gurugram. And a round of applause for the excellence in MUN award, and the award goes to Bluebells School of Group, Gurugram. Congratulations to all the winners. I would now request Mr. Madhu Suman sir to give a memento to Mr. Agnihotri for his outstanding contribution in spreading awareness about Indie culture through the broadcast media. And a round of applause for Mr. Agnihotri sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today and sharing your insights with us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with changing times, it is imperative that we move away from traditional frameworks associated with the nature of strategy in schools and explore new ways of ensuring more inclusive and equitable quality of education. Let's hear what the leaders have to say on rethinking national smart educational strategy. I would now like to call on stage the moderator for the first panel discussion to please come up on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mrs. Rita Singh, CEO, Indirapuram Education Network and Director, Indirapuram Group of Institutions. Thank you so much for joining us today, ma'am. We would also like to welcome Ashok Pandey, Director, Alcon Group of Schools, Global Peace Fellow with Global Peace Foundation, USA. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. We also have with us Deepika Valian, Senior Manager, Cambridge North and Central India, and Dr. Sudha Acharya, Chairperson, National Progressive School Conference. Can we have a round of applause for our esteemed panelists and our moderator? Right. Stage is all yours, ma'am.
Yeah, I was expecting Dr. Ashok also here. Welcome Dr. Sudha Acharya, who is chairperson with National Progressive Schools Conference. We welcome you, and we also have Deepika Valian, who's a senior manager with Cambridge, if I'm not wrong, Central and North India. So we welcome you here. And yes, thank you Z Media for the opportunity, and I love the topic that you people have chosen. It is actually going to give us a whole lot of insights, and since we have one participant less, I would welcome if any idea that comes from the people over here while we are doing the conversation, we will welcome that. We are all here for the deliberations of rethinking national smart educational strategy. Giving a little background to this, We had 5 initiators when the entire program was initiated in August 2020, soon after COVID-19. I think COVID-19 actually gave us, it tested the resilience of all the schools' IT infrastructure of all the countries, I would say. Across global, our IT infrastructure was really tested, and how robust we were, and how strong we were, and how, what were the lacuna. So, but at the time when the COVID-19, the first phase finished, we saw 5 initiators: UNESCO Institute for Information Technologies and Education. We saw Beijing Nobel University, the Commonwealth of Learning, National Research University Higher School of Economics, and International Society for Technology and Education. These 5 initiators came together, and they actually took up this project where they decided that they are going to do little research on how national level strategies must change to bring in the smart education in not just the school education, but also in the higher education. And when this exploration of ideas happened on the solution of how the infusing of technology in the education is going to help out, reach beyond the SDG 2030 goal that we had for quality education. I was to initiate the entire conversation with Dr. Ashok because I see him working a lot in SDGs, but I've also seen Dr. Sudhacharya has really, not just in SDG goals, meeting those goals, you've also worked in the inclusive education. We talk about technology being a great leveler. At the same time, we see technology as a great enabler. So if you're looking at a smart education, and how do you see, especially in the field of inclusiveness, and I think you've worked a lot on inclusiveness and equity, do you think technology has been enabler? If there are any anecdotes or any incidents that you can share with the people out here?
Definitely, I think that technology is an enabler, and it helps education anytime, anywhere, as we do. During the pandemic, when whole world was confined at home, and in the educational ecosystem, pandemic was the greatest disruptor. So during that time, we really used technology to empower and enable our children having some special need. How did we reach out to them? So that time I really realized the power of technology. When we talk about technology, it has to have a human face. Nowadays, we are talking about humanistic education. Whatever we do, it is for the holistic well-being for the child. When I say inclusive education, it is not only children with special need, but I am talking about children who are coming from diverse socio-cultural background, having geographical identity, gender identity, all these things taken together. So I'll give you one instance, as you asked me. During the lockdown period, you all know educators were no less than corona warriors, and they rose up to the occasion, and we started with the online classes and all. But the most marginalized and vulnerable group were the children and parents having special need children. So what we did is that, and school was the most important time when it gave respite to the parents. We were taking care of their children for 8 hours. These children were deprived of their one-to-one therapy and all those things. So what we did, how to reach out to the parents, we used technology there. And we really scheduled a 24-hour schedule because they were deprived of their routine. So 24-hour schedule, giving them picturized form of every chapter. And one thing I did that I must inform here, in the evening when parents came back, or they were also working at home only. So we categorized parents disability-wise, if I may say so. Children who are visually impaired or hearing impaired or autistic or Down syndrome, we categorize them together because they have similar kind of problem. They have similar kind of behavioral problem, and we invested time with them. I mean, we became parents of these children and asked them, how was your day and how you are feeling and how these children are behaving. So there was exchange of ideas and sharing of ideas between parents, and we tried to help them out and reaching them out. So that really worked beautifully. Technology helped us in really continuing education in emergency.
Thank you so much. And you actually very beautifully bring out how the disruption to recovery was actually possible because there are leaders like you. And the examples that you've given, I think it brings out very beautifully that technology actually brings in the scalability also.
One more point I would say, when now we have come back to school on physical mode, still now, because now we know the power of technology, so these special need children, every day evening we are meeting them. Even children who need remedial support, we are reaching out to them on Saturdays. So sitting at their home, we can bridge the gap, learning
I
loss.
think the logical leaders have adopted the hybrid model, bringing the best of both the worlds. So thank you for that. Deepika, I have been a Cambridge practitioner also since we run the Cambridge board. And I know you're new to this board, but then in general, if you could bring in the international segment of like, you have been with IB before this, and you're with Cambridge. And I won't shy away from accepting this, that Indian education has learned a lot from the international boards which are there in India since long. Specifically talking about the these learners' attributes that you talk about, I think there are 5 attributes. I would want you to talk about it. There are 5 attributes that you have talked about, that Cambridge has brought out, learner attributes. And now CBSE has also been talking about learner profile. And if I look at the score document which is there, which has a 1 page devoted to how the learner profile should be, after all, whatever we are doing in our classroom is to make a student learner, lifelong learner, right? So in these light, how do you see the learner profile which Cambridge is working towards? Does it tally with the NEP or the scores wish list?
Okay, yeah. I was worried if I'll be audible or not. Thank you for the question. And I must say, technology can only help you with the passion with which you are working, and I'm sure that's what is driving. Technology is just a tool. Definitely, Cambridge overall learning, whatever is going on in the classroom, the pedagogy, the teaching and learning, the curriculum, the assessment, is based on developing 5 attributes in the learners, making them confident, responsible, innovative, engaged, and enthusiastic learner. That means that these attributes are interwoven within the curriculum, within the lesson plans, within the teaching learning, how we are assessing the questions, whether be it a formative assessment or summative assessment, the Cambridge assessment. So eventually the child who would graduate from the school would be a confident, engaged, enthusiastic, responsible, and innovative learner. That's the overall focus of Cambridge, making them ready for the world of work or for their next step of education. And I do see a lot of parallel between what Cambridge has been doing. And similarly, we have IB profiles, the 10 profiles. And the whole education is actually based around the profile, developing those profiles and how the children are growing. I see a lot of parallel, a very clear-cut, not a clear-cut aim towards it. Though I think the attributes are not yet defined, but as we just have draft NCF 2023, and I could see that the competencies are being defined. And so from the curricular goals to, from the aims of the school curriculum to curriculum goals to competencies, eventually we will define what would be an Indian student profile must be like. And I'm sure any new policy, whichever country, devise it. I was in UAE in 2010. New education policy came at that time. The world leaders of different institutions collaborated to make it. I'm sure we all learn from different boards, and NAP must have taken account of what is good in Cambridge, what is good in IB. But what we liked as Cambridge in the new education policy is 3 points. Particularly, everything is worth learning, but these cross-cutting themes on value, inclusion, and most importantly, rootedness. Absolutely. And that would be an extra mile of NEP 2020 beyond Cambridge. Because, in fact, in our Cambridge internal meets, we do discuss identity. We can have excellent foundational literacy, excellent foundational numeracy, languages, but what about identity of the child, and which we are seeing in new education policy, the rootedness would define that
I'm
somehow.
so glad, Deepika, because people representative of international boards, if they do recognize, of course, NEP talks about it being rootedness. It also quotes international boards also to be kind of taking that in consideration. So thank you if you guys are looking at it. It's a wonderful initiative. And because sometimes, like we run CBSE and Cambridge board as well, and when you're designing the curriculum for Cambridge, yes, we take everything from Cambridge, but we have to work towards the ethos, Indian culture, and all those things. So good if you're yourself considering it. That's wonderful. We all have understood that at the school level, we can do our bit. But there are certain initiatives that have to come from up above. There are certain, if the topic says that we are working towards the rethinking national smart education strategy, so we have to understand where does the government come in this. So any ideas that we can deliberate on, I can open this question to the House as well. Any ideas that we can, because we have been talking about, when we are talking about learner profile, even then we talked about collaborativeness, and we have been we all know that 21st century skills and core skills, whatever you name it, that have been very, very important to create the global citizens of today. So this collaboration that came in, whether it was the 5 initial initiatives or the collaboration that has come in NEP, if you look at the NEP or NCF, they always come as a draft to us. And then we all give our inputs, the one who want to. So all this collaboration, I think it has helped India a lot. Now, can us, 3 of us, and so many 50, 100 over here, help us derive at certain, or we explore a route where smart education we can bring in? How do we actually develop these national public services, any national public services that we can think of where technology can come in, or any other tools that actually help us get into the sustainable education?
Okay, when we are talking about national policy education or smart education strategies, so for me, smart education means we will facilitate our mentors and then they can guide the learners to be effective, to be involved learners. So if we talk about NCF, we are talking about Panchkosh Vikas. That is right from Annamaya to Anandmaya Vikas, which is physical well-being, mental wellness, and your inquisitiveness, and finally eternal bliss. So how do we achieve there? And you were talking about learner's profile. So holistic assessment is a mandate of NEP 2020 also. So that we have really piloted in a few selected schools of KVs, government school, and some of the private CBSE schools, where we have moved away from marks and grades. Absolutely. You know, we are taking the child as whole child, and the concept mapping, and these are completely based on task or activity or play-based. Where I have seen, or through my experience, I can tell you, when I was piloting this holistic progress card, we could identify special need of children because every individual child was observed. Absolutely. You know, and parents are as partners, they were thick and thin involved in the classroom. So as we are talking about smart cities, so smart education is incorporated in it. You know, so UNESCO report I was reading, their smart education was a part of smart city. And for me, smart education means if we can create citizens, future citizens having morally, ethically, socially responsible citizen who can contribute to the nation building with the amalgamation of head, heart, and hands.
Absolutely. And we all do understand the importance of combination of a head, heart, and heart. Any input related to this, Deepika, from your side? Any
Holistic.
Basically, we are building up a national strategy. Any suggestions for the government to work up above? Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm too small to suggest a strategy, but definitely I think we are in the right direction. It is slow. First the policy came, then we have the draft framework, now we'll have strategies, then we'll have committee suggestion. It is going in the right direction. My Cambridge's approach here would be to have resources backed up to let it implement at each level. So here, a lot of state governments have partnering with Cambridge and abroad also. A lot of countries partner, not to provide what Cambridge is providing, but to get that capacity of providing. So here, how these mammoth tasks of providing these massive training, making them online, what are the different levels? You really need to, I'm sure in the strategy they must be thinking how they would, because how they would, cater to such large population. Here, we all can learn from one another. This is what I can say. Another strategy is definitely high achieving, gifted and talented learners. Those, a lot of studies have shown that gifted and talented learners are minorities. Almost they are unnoticed. They are noticed, but nothing is done for them. And I do see a lot of mention in gifted and talented learners in the policy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Differentiating gifted and talented from high achieving. So very clear diagnostic tools that can be devised on a national level that can help us identify the battery of learning of student, and that should be easily available for every school, for every teacher, so that they do understand what is the ability level of the child. This is one strategy I can suggest. So two, one is the capacity building, and second is identifying the needs of learner.
Yeah, thank you, Deepika. And I'm glad that you brought out that aspect that policies can only be as successful or as good as the implementation part of it. Yes, that's where we all come in. And I'm not tracking the time, sorry. Anybody can help me with the time. I was given 30 minutes, so you let me know when. Okay. So, basically when we were trying to understand what smart education was, we had some people giving in acronym as science, maths, technology, because smart education we always kind of correlate with technology. But there is a very beautiful summary that I saw somewhere, and I think I'll close with that with your permission. Smart as on situated learning, mastery learning, adaptive learning, reflective learning, and thinking tools. And that is, I think, that sums up, and it actually helps us foster human and social development aspect of it also. So thank you, Sudha ma'am, and thank you, Deepika, for your time, and thank you, Z Media. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that insightful session on smart education. I would request a moderator and a panelist to please stay on the stage, as we would like to present a small token of appreciation. I would request a moderator and panelist to please stay on the stage, as we have a small token of appreciation for all of you here. For that, I would now request Sridhar Mishra, Chief Revenue Officer, IDPL, to please come up on the stage and present the mementos to our moderator and our panelists today. Can we have a round of applause for our moderator and our panelists who very well outlined the smart education and the new ways of ensuring a more inclusive education in today's time. Can we have a round of applause for our moderator? That is Dr. Sudha Acharya, Chairperson, National Progressive School Conference. Can we have a round of applause for Dr. Acharya? And Deepika Valyan, Senior Manager, Cambridge North and Central India. Can we have a round of applause for our moderator and our panelists? Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your insights with us on smart education. Right. I would request Mr. Sridhar Mishra to please stay on the stage, as we would like to distribute our next set of awards. I would also like to call on stage Dinesh Garg, Z Media CFO, to please come on the stage as we distribute our next set of awards. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Dinesh Garg and Mr. Sridhar Mishra? The award for Best in Liberal Arts, it goes to Kriya University, Andhra Pradesh. Can we have a round of applause for the award for the best in liberal arts? The award goes to Kriya University, Andhra Pradesh. And the award for the most promising progressive university goes to Quantum University, Roorkee, Uttar Pradesh. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for the award of most promising progressive university? And the award goes to Quantum University, Roorkee, Uttar Pradesh. Award for the most promising college with best placements, it goes to DCE, Darbhanga, Bihar. Can we have a round of applause for the most promising college with best placements? And the award goes to DCE, Darbhanga, Bihar. Ladies and gentlemen, the award for the best boarding school in Delhi. The award goes to the Man School, Delhi. Can we have a round of applause for the award of the best boarding school in Delhi? And the award goes to the Man School, Delhi. And the award for the best boarding school, the first school of entrepreneurship, the award for that, it goes to DCM Young Entrepreneur School, Ludhiana. Can we have a round of applause for the first school of entrepreneurship? And the award goes to DCM Young Entrepreneur School, Ludhiana. And a round of applause for the first school of entrepreneurship. And the award goes to DCM Young Entrepreneur School, Ludhiana. And the award for excellence in quizzing. The award goes to Krishna Public School, Raipur. Can we have a round of applause for the award in quizzing? And the award goes to Krishna Public School, Raipur. And the award for Best Preschool Chain South, it goes to Hello Kids, Bangalore. Can we have a round of applause for the Best Preschool Chain South? And the award goes to Hello Kids, Bangalore. The award for Emerging K-12 Brand in North, the award goes to Petals World School, Ghaziabad. The award for Emerging K-12 Brand in North award, it goes to Petals World School, Ghaziabad. Can we have a round of applause for Petals World School, Ghaziabad? Petals, right. Best Legacy School of India to Mayo College, Ajmer. The Best Legacy School of India, the award goes to Mayo College, Ajmer. And the award for Exceptional Parent Engagement, the award goes to Shiv Nadar School, Gurugram. The award for Exceptional Parent Engagement, the award goes to Shiv Nadar School, Gurugram. award for Best Co-Education Day Cum Boarding School of India, the award goes to Emerald Heights, Indore. The award for Best Education Day Cum Boarding School of India, the award goes to Emerald Heights, Indore. And the award for Best Group of Schools, it goes to Ryan International Group of Institutions. Can be a round of applause for the award of Best Group of Schools. The award goes to Ryan International Group of Institutions. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners. Thank you, sir. We're now about to start with the final panel discussion of today's event on the topic, India's G20 presidency and the possibilities in the education sector. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the topic is of paramount importance as India has assumed the G20 presidency and will be holding the G20 summit later this year. One of the major objectives of the upcoming summit are the reforms in the educational sector. And to discuss this, I would now like to call on stage our profound speakers and our moderator. The session will be moderated by Rohit Watts, Editor, Languages DNA. Can we have a round of applause for our moderator, Rohit Watts, Editor, Languages DNA. I would also like to welcome our panelists for the session. Please welcome Dr. Abhishek Tandon, State President of ABVP and Associate Professor at the Department of Operation Research, University of Delhi. We also have with us Dr. Ramesh Chandra Gaur, Director, National School of Drama, New Delhi. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Chandra Gaur? Stage, Mr. Tejas Suma Shyam, Founder and Director of Tej, The Education Journey. And we also have with us, ladies and gentlemen, Alok B. Sriram, Senior Managing Director and CEO, DCM Sriram Industries. Can we have a round of applause for all our panelists and our moderator as we begin with the second panel discussion.
Hello everyone. So this is the final panel discussion for today, and I'm Rohit Watts, and I welcome you all for this third season of Z Edufuture Excellence Award. And the topic is pretty heavy duty. It's India's G20 presidency and possibilities in the education sector. But I would like to break it down. Let's start with some policy level discussion, and because I've been talking to Tejas even before this event. So this question is for you only. And so do you think that real life education scenario and what we are proposing as India's and rather G20's future plan have some kind of correlation? Do you think that it's not going to be difficult, what we are aiming to achieve?
Hello. Okay. Thank you so much for the question, and thank you all the audiences for being here. I heard the previous panel discussion, and we were talking about some ideas to make, a smart education possible. My major concern with where we are today is there's a lot of hope, definitely, but one of the major challenges is last mile, right? When we talk about smart education, when we talk about policy level implementation, when we talk about doing good work, on one hand, we have our cities, tier 1 cities, where there is possibility of doing really good work. On the other hand, we've got villages and places where there is no connectivity at all, right? This stark contrast is not getting any narrower, unfortunately. It's becoming bigger because what we are trying to do is, through all our initiatives, when we try and push for digital, who is getting benefits of digital today straight up? It's the tier 1 cities, the students in the urban centers, right? The rural students are still lagging out, and they will continue to lag out till electricity reaches them, till digital reaches them. So the real world scenarios that we're talking about today, right? On one hand, there is a very good will There is a very, very good thought saying, okay, look, policy-wise, we'll talk of a new policy coming in. We're going to be talking about newer pedagogy methods, a lot of competencies coming in. All of that is great on paper, right? When it comes to tier 1 schools, probably that will work. But when it comes to a school in a village where a kid cannot even learn in English, the kids aren't even exposed to thought processes beyond their homes. And probably those thought processes are driven by generations which haven't had access to education the way we see it today, right? It is a big challenge to be able to carry this off in the right manner. Now, that's going to require a lot of thrust, and we're hoping that what has come through with the working papers of the G20 group, yesterday, there has been a positive intent for sure, but I'm very interested in checking how the intent translates to content, right? But before that, one small activity with all the audience members, if you may permit me, okay? I want all of you to wave to me. Okay, so the reason I made you do this is because I said one thing very, very importantly, which all of you probably missed. I said, I want you to wave to me, right? I didn't say you have to wave to me, but all of you did anyway, right? This is exactly what our education system is doing today, right? With all our intelligentsia, with all of us here who are highly decorated in terms of academic degrees and qualifications, still we fall prey to this rote. When someone tells us do something, no one challenged me saying, Tejas, why did you ask me to wave to you in the middle of your talk? Right? But we did it anyway. If people who are like us can do this, right? Imagine what will happen to students when they're put through the rote methodology, and that's my fear.
No, maybe that is maybe against the decorum of this panel discussion we are having. Otherwise, I'm sure somebody will question you. But that also brings me to Dr. Gaur. And Dr. Gaur, you just heard what they just said. So my question is that, do you think that we are becoming, or rather we are already a country of test takers, task? So enabler, the system enables us to take tasks rather than question it, and education maybe is different than what kind of knowledge we are pursuing for.
Currently we are going through a big transition because if you see our current education system, although we were a country with completely government education institutions, and suddenly in 90s we started private institution, open up to private educational institutions. But if you see current scenario, our private educational institutions are still not able to achieve the kind of reputation what world over in US or Europe the private universities are doing. And somehow the government educational institutions have also been given certain kind of tasks that they have to have certain kind of model to have some self-sustainability.
Sorry to interrupt you here, but what do you think is the reason behind it?
Reason behind is that somewhere in our private education, most of the thing people believe that this can be a profit-making venture instead of a charitable cause. So I think that's somewhere most of the private educational institutes are not going into the right direction. I think somewhere it needs some kind of strategies and some kind of challenges and the kind of scenario we are currently, because if you see your focus was on our G20 presidency. If you see the focus of our entire discussion in last 4 months, Industry 4.0, which leads to Education 4.0. Another is the Sustainable Development Goal. And the theme of our this G20 presidency, One Earth, One Family, One World. So in that context, I think if you see 4 months discussion in these meetings, 4 meetings have already been taken place. These all major issues are being discussed and in the context of new education policy. So I don't know where we are wrong, but unfortunately we have a lot of discussion, but those discussions have not been translated into real action. And I think that's a concern that if you see our current education system, either we talk about government education or private education, somewhere we are lacking that focus of this current generation. Like when we are talking about blended learning, we are talking about lifelong learning, we are talking about basically focus should be not about the teaching, about the mentorship. It's not about examination, it is about evolution. So the world is moving in different direction, but still we have far way to go in that direction.
I have a follow-up question to that, but I will come to that later. First question for sir. So in yesterday's working group meeting, the thing that they talked about education and its future policy is that it has to be the critical enabler of a dignified life. Do you think that education features up there in our list of priorities where we can actually think education as the critical enabler?
I'm going to give my answer a little differently because I'm not an educator. I'm from business. I have some interest in education. But to my previous speakers, both of them, I'm just going to say a few comments. The first is that, we compare ourselves with the best institutions in the world, which is fine. But ultimately, we have to realize that best is the enemy of better. So let us start improving. I think the new policy, new NEP and the G20, they're good steps towards this direction. We have to keep moving up the chain. If we keep comparing ourselves only with the best, we are going to have problems. The second was what Dr. Gaur mentioned about non-profit organization, etc. I think we have to understand that any endeavor in education or in any field requires a lot of money. And ultimately, it can't be a one-way push. What the government has to come up is, I think, with a third category, which is what most Western universities and colleges work, which is not for profit, which means they can make surpluses, but those surpluses are plowed back into the system and not taken out, let's say like dividends or interest, etc. And I think that is because we run a fair amount of institutions. We've started fair amount of institutions in my family, like Sri Ram College of Commerce, Lady Sri Ram College, and many others. And invariably, the problem is at a stage, you don't have enough money to put into these to become the global products that you are looking for. But if they were allowed to create surpluses and plow back, we run also a research center where we hire about 400 scientists. And this has been running for 70 years. We have never got a penny from the government. And after a point, our businesses stopped putting in money because the institution became self-sufficient financially. And I think this is something the government must consider in its new policies. How can you have a not-for-profit model, which means you make surpluses and plow them back? And that, I think, is the way to go for us. As far as G20 is concerned, I was traveling yesterday, so I haven't seen the paper. But I think the G20 presidency is great for India's profile. And a lot of initiatives which will come in will be thought papers. But I think this government has proved itself to be a bit of a doer. And I hope they will push this really hard and move education way up there on the platforms, because ultimately education is our way to becoming the best.
So far we have 2 points that our panel has made. One is that the government institutes and private institutes, there is a kind of gap between these two. And money is also important. Influx of money is important. Now, Dr. Abhishek Tandon, who has just joined us, so you have been a teacher, an educator. And so do you think that our teachers are also ready for this kind of futuristic education? Are our teachers enabled enough to teach the new generation when edtech startups, everything? So you see AI, you see machine learning, everything is there. The disruption is there. You think teachers are ready for future generation?
I think it's a very good question. The answer to it is that since last 5, 7, 10 years now, teachers have been asked to be more of felicitators than to be teachers. And of course, one thing which we have realized with the help of COVID is that classroom teaching cannot be replaced. Peer learning, a lot of other things. But of course, you can supplement with edtech and whatever the options of SWAYAM and all that you have. If teachers are not ready, because there are teachers, the retirement is superannuation age of teachers at central universities is 65. So if teachers were appointed, let's say 30 years back, 25 years back, teachers are not ready, but they're ready to learn.
Now, suppose somebody is 50-year-old right now, and you want them to be very computer educated, very internet educated. It will still take them, like they are in the job for next 10 years. So do you think that we are already late by 10 years?
See, I'll tell you, this was a valid question pre-2019. Post the COVID, every single teacher has used this technology. This was one of the silver lining, in the cloud because of the COVID, that teachers have equipped themselves. I also would like to congratulate the university system, the administration, also the private partners who have helped educate teachers, who have helped them. Actually, it's important, you see, it's not about 50 years or 55 years or 60 years. Age is not the factor. Factor is when you stop, you have this thing in your mind that you're not ready to learn. So I have seen people who are 60, 63 years old working on their computers, iPads, and teaching students online. And then similarly, there are 30 years teachers as well who are not comfortable. So I think age is not that barrier. The barrier is there in the mind. So if your mind is correctly triggered, if your conscience is there, I think you are ready to learn as a teacher.
Point taken, but let me paraphrase this question. And I would like Tejas to answer that, and then I will again come back to you. So we keep talking about, and also I'm getting cue that we are running short of time. So just final point that AI might not be knowing what human touch is right now, what humans can do right now, but in 10 years, 15 years, maybe it will be there. So what will be that kind of scenario? Are we prepared for it?
Okay. Frankly, the world is not really aware of what will happen in AI tomorrow, forget 5 years later, because the rate at which GPT is updating itself from GPT-3 to GPT-4, I mean, that's been a quantum jump, right? Now we've got multimodal inputs that it takes. To answer the question on whether we are ready or not is a big if, right? But what I can tell you is it going to replace the human touch or not? And to my mind, and I think reasonably so to a lot of our audiences, I don't think it can, right? Because at the end of the day, technology is a great enabler. It's a great tool. And I think one of the previous panelists spoke about it as well. But you are going to require human intervention at various stages, right? You cannot replace that consoling touch of a teacher on your shoulder if you've not scored well in an exam. Right. You cannot replace that feedback given by a teacher to your parent, in all candid honesty, right? Technology may help you take care of certain tasks, but it cannot replace everything. And yes, it may make certain tasks redundant, and I'm happy that it will, because then humans can start focusing on the more important tasks, right? We can focus on delivering the kind of education that creates value rather than information. And I think that's something that it's high time that we start doing.
So
because
this is all education meaning knowledge versus information kind of a debate.
Perfect.
So, but we are running short of time. So one final quick comment from everyone, starting from Dr. Gaur. So do you think we will be ready for futuristic or world-class education in next 10 years?
Of course, sure. Because if you see we are considered IT superpower, and our brains are helping all over the world. There is no doubt about it. And if you see, our institutions are doing wonderfully well in every area that we have been excelling. There is no doubt about it. If you compare with rest of the world, we are not lagging behind in use of any latest or emerging technology in our field. But it's a kind of divide, a digital divide between the rural India and the smart cities or metros, what we are talking. I think our biggest challenge is how to reduce this digital divide. The quality, I comes from a very small place in Uttar Pradesh. The situation I have seen when I was a student there till middle class, hardly something has changed. That's a real concern. So definitely we have everything, but how this, when we talk about equitable access to the education, that's a major challenge for us. And also inclusive, because it's not just about teachers, it's about the resources also. The kind of facility we have available in the metros, the same facilities are not there in that part of the...
So one final comment from you and then Dr. Tandon.
Okay, the final comment I would have is that this is a question you asked me earlier. I think in the Indian history, the position of the guru has been equated or maybe even higher than that of the mother. And I think we have to recognize that. We have to honor them in the true way that they need to be honored, because they are really creating the future of the country. And I have no doubt that we will. I think we will and we must. There's no other way.
So, Dr. Tandon.
I think one point which I would like to make, and this is something which is there with me for long, is that a lot of price is attached to degrees and certificates in our education system. We should attach more of prizes and certificates to the skill. If we start doing that, then we are going to be future ready and our skill level is going to increase considerably. Currently, if you see why NEP was required, because a lot of graduates were there, but they were not employable. So right now we need people who are employable, and that's why the gross ratio which is aimed is at 50% and not 100%. So let us have more of entrepreneurs, more of people who are job providers than people who are just graduates. So that is the takeaway actually. We need to prepare ourselves for the next 20 to 25 years. And for that, education, technology, digital governance, even the Honorable Prime Minister said this 2 days back, that literacy, numeracy together with digital governance is the need of our. So I think that's what comes to my mind. And with this, I think I came late, but best of luck for your future.
So indeed, this is guarded optimism that Dr. Tandon is talking about. And also on that positive and hopeful note, thank you for all the members to be a part of this panel. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much for that insightful session on India's G20 presidency and the possibilities in the education sector. I would request a moderator and a panelist to please stay on the stage as we have a small token of appreciation for all of you. For that, I would request Mona Jain, CRO Z Media, to please come up on the stage and present a small token of appreciation for our moderator and our set of panelists. Can we have a round of applause for our moderator and a set of panelists who very well discussed India's G20 presidency and the possibilities in the education sector. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for our moderator and our second set of panelists. As Rohit Watts, who very well moderated the second session for today. And we also have a round of applause for Mr. Chandra Gaur and Mr. Tejas Somasham, founder and director of Stage, the Education Journey. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir, and sharing your insights with us on India's G20 presidency and the possibilities in the education sector in today's time. We have a round of applause for our set of panelists. Thank you so much. I would request Mona ma'am to please stay on the stage I would request Mona ma'am to please stay on the stage, and I would request our guest of honor, Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri, to please come up on the stage. It is our honor and our privilege to award Mr. Agnihotri for his outstanding contribution in spreading awareness about Indic culture through broadcast media. Can we have a round of applause for our guest of honor, Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri? Ladies and gentlemen, that is Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri, our guest of honor for today's event. He's best known for his work in the world of cinema. He's created a stir with his path-breaking work in the world of cinema. Please give it up for Vivek Ranjan Agnihotri. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today and bestowing us with your presence. I would also now like to call on stage Sridhar Mishra and Madhu sir to award our next set of winners. Can we have a round of applause for Mr. Sridhar Mishra and Mr. Madhu Suman? Ladies and gentlemen, the award for excellence in pedagogy goes to Venkateshwar Group of Schools. Can we have a round of applause for Venkateshwara Group of Schools? Award for the Best International School of the Year, it goes to Pathways World School, Gurugram and Noida. Can we have a round of applause for the award of Best International School of the Year? The award goes to Pathways World School, Gurugram and Noida. And the award for Best Innovation in Education, it goes to Mount Abu, Delhi. Can we have a round of applause for the award for Best Innovation in Education? The award goes to Mount Abu, Delhi. And the award for Leader in Internationalism, the award goes to Rockwood School, Udaipur. Can we have a round of applause for Rockwood School, Udaipur? That's the award for Leader in Internationalism. The award goes to Rockwood School, Udaipur. The award for Best School in Performing Visual Arts, it goes to MCGS, Mayo Girls School, Ajmer, Rajasthan. A round of applause for Best School in Performing Visual Arts, and the award goes to Mayo Girls School, Ajmer, Rajasthan. And the award for promoting a spirit of adventure. The award goes to the Punjab Public School, Nabha, Punjab. A round of applause for the award for promoting a spirit of adventure. And the award goes to the Punjab Public School, Nabha, Punjab. And the award for Tradition Meets New Age Curriculum, the award goes to Maharani Gayatri Devi School, Jaipur. The award goes to Maharani Gayatri Devi School, Jaipur. Can we have a round of applause for our next award, which is Tradition Meets New Age Curriculum. And the award goes to Maharani Gayatri Devi School, Jaipur. And that is Tradition Meets New Age Curriculum Award. It goes to Maharani Gayatri Devi School, Jaipur. And the award for Best Infrastructure in Jammu and Kashmir. The award goes to the Heritage School, Jammu. Gentlemen, that's the award for the Best Infrastructure in Jammu and Kashmir. And the award goes to the Heritage School, Jammu. Chain of the year, it goes to M.R. Jaipuria. A huge round of applause for the award of Innovative School Chain of the Year, and the award goes to M.R. Jaipuria. And the award for Aspiring Chain of School North, it goes to M.R. Jaipuria School North. A round of applause. The award again goes to M.R. Jaipuria School North. Congratulations. The award for excellence in course and curriculum design, and the award goes to Graphic Era University, Dehradun. A round of applause for Graphic Era University, Dehradun. That's the award for excellence in course and curriculum design. The award goes to Graphic Era University, Dehradun. The most emerging university north. The award goes to Rishihood University, Sonipat. A round of applause for Rishihood University, Sonipat, for the most university north. Best in Industry Placement. The award goes to Noida Institute of Engineering and Technology, Greater Noida. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to call on stage Sushant Mohan, CEO, DMCL, to talk more on the education sector, the impact it has, and how we can move forward with it. Sushant Mohan for all of you.
1, 2, 3. Okay. So hello, everyone. Good afternoon already. I hope you guys are enjoying it and things are going fine. Are we okay here? Can I hear a loud yes? Yes? This is not louder. I think आप लोगों की चाय खत्म हो गई अंदर. So, I'll just tell you what, that this is the best moment for me. I see people from Punjab. I see Mount Abu school there. I see that Mayo school से भी मैम आए थे, मैंने उनको देखा. And सुबह बहुत सारे education dignitaries आए थे. तो मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि मुझे ये स्टेज शेयर करने का मौका मिला, क्योंकि मुझसे बहुत सारे लोगों ने पूछा, सुशांत आपने क्या किया है? मैंने कहा मैंने डबल एमए किया है. मैंने डबल एमए किया. उन्होंने कहा कहाँ से? मैंने कहा यहाँ से. तो एजुकेशन के ऊपर बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी होती हैं जो लोगों को नहीं मालूम होती हैं. सबसे इम्पॉर्टेंट जो बात है वो है कि एजुकेशन के बारे में जिस तरह से वो ट्रेडिशन चेंज हुआ है, वो एजुकेशन का ट्रेडिशन हमारे यहाँ पर बदलना सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी था. मेरे पास आप लोगों के लिए कुछ सवाल हैं, ठीक है? और मैं आपके पास आके वो सवाल पूछूंगा। पर उससे पहले मैं आपको एक छोटी सी स्टोरी सुनाना चाहता हूँ। एंड ये जो छोटी सी स्टोरी है ये वैसे टेक्निकली मुझे हमारे आज के चीफ गेस्ट महेंद्रनाथ जी ने सुनाई थी। उन्होंने कहा था सुशांत ये स्टोरी मैंने अपने पास रखी है, और क्योंकि वो अभी ट्रैफिक में है तो उन्होंने मुझे ये परमिशन दी कि मैं ये उनकी स्टोरी यहाँ पर शेयर कर सकूँ। सो विद हिज परमिशन, क्योंकि वो यहाँ पर पहुँच रहे हैं, दो दोस्तों को एक बोट में डाला गया। एक एकेडमिशियन थे और दूसरे जो थे उन्होंने जिंदगी को बहुत जिया था। हम अक्सर ऐसे लोगों से मिलते हैं, आप सब लोग एकेडमिशियंस यहाँ पर हैं, एक्सपर्ट्स हैं अपनी अपनी फील्ड में। आपने सुना होगा अक्सर लोग कहते हैं अरे यार पढ़ाई करके क्या करोगे, जिंदगी जी है या नहीं। जिंदगी का तजुर्बा बहुत कुछ होता है। और ये जो एकेडमिशियन थे ये बार बार कहते थे कि मैंने अपनी लाइफ में पढ़ाई बहुत की है, मैंने अपनी लाइफ में किताबें मेरी साथी हैं। तो दोनों के बीच में कंपटीशन हुआ और चुनाव के लिए एक बोटिंग कंपनी ने उनको दो अलग अलग बोट दी। उन दोनों को कहा गया कि आप पानी में जितना दूर जाकर वापस आ सकते हैं, जितना दूर जाकर वापस आ सकते हैं, ये आपके स्किल्स हैं। जिन्होंने जिंदगी जी थी उनको लगा था कि मैं तो ये पार कर लूंगा, मुझे तैरना भी आता है, नाव भी चलाना आता है, एंड समहाउ मैंने कभी अपनी लाइफ में एक बार नदी में नाव चलाई भी है, ये कंपटीशन तो मैं जीत गया। वेयर एज जिन्होंने एकेडमिक्स की फील्ड में जो एजुकेशनिस्ट थे, एकेडमिशियन थे, उन्होंने कभी नाव चलाई नहीं थी। समहाउ उनको ये भी नहीं पता था कि पानी में सरवाइव कैसे करना है, और उनको तैरना भी नहीं आता था। तो अब ऑड्स जो हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा हैं, कुछ भी इवन नहीं है। पर इन दोनों को नाव में चढ़ाकर भेज दिया गया और कंपटीशन के लिए नाव दूर जाने लगी, दूर जाने लगी, दूर जाने लगी। अब यहाँ पर मैं आपको एक टेक्निकल डिटेल दे दूं। एक नाव का नंबर था 9703, याद रखिएगा, आप लिख भी सकते हैं। एक मैं सवाल क्योंकि पूछ सकता हूँ, दिस इज एजुफ्यूचर एक्सीलेंस, तो सवाल भी आ सकता है। एक नाव का नंबर था 9703 और दूसरी नाव का नंबर था 8703। ठीक है, ये एक नाव का नंबर दूसरे को दिखता था, दूसरी नाव का नंबर इधर वाले को दिखता था। सर एवरीवन विद मी, प्लीज से यस। नहीं आप लोग देखिए कहीं वो नाव आगे निकल गई, आप पीछे छूट गए। जी आप लोग हैं, वेरी गुड, 9703, थैंक यू। मैम दूसरा नंबर क्या था दूसरी नाव का? थैंक यू, मैं खुद भूल गया था। तो 9703, 8703 दो नाव के अंदर पड़े। 8703 वाली नाव पर आपने एकेडमिशियन जो थे वो उनको चढ़ा दिया गया। 9703 वाली नाव पर जिंदगी का तजुर्बा, वो अपने पूरे तजुर्बे के साथ उस पर चढ़ गए। नाव आगे चलने लगी। एक दिन बीता, 3 दिन बीते, 4 दिन बीते। धीरे धीरे जिनकी जिंदगी का तजुर्बा था उनके साथ थोड़ी तकलीफें आने लगी। खाना खत्म हुआ और उन्होंने मछली मारना शुरू किया, क्योंकि उन्होंने नदी के अंदर अपनी लाइफ जी थी। वेयरएज वो देखते कि जो एजुकेशनिस्ट थे, एकेडमिशियन थे, वो रोज सुबह धूप में बैठते थे, कुर्सी डाल के नाव के ऊपर किताब पढ़ते थे, वापस अपने डॉक में अंदर चले जाते थे बोट के, और कुछ ऐसा खास एक्टिविटी उनकी थी नहीं। उनको चिढ़ाते हुए थे, अरे किताबें पढ़ते रहोगे, जिंदगी जिए या नहीं। वो कुछ नहीं कहते थे, उनका एक ही डायलॉग होता था, तुमने पढ़ाई की है आज की कि नहीं। अब ये दोनों के बीच में चल रहा है। धीरे धीरे इधर इनका खाना खत्म होने लगा। लड़ाई ये है कि वापस आना नहीं है, और ट्रिक ऊपर से ये भी है, इनको एक सूचना ये भी देकर भेजा गया था कि जीतने वाले को $1 मिलियन का अवार्ड है, $1 मिलियन। $1 मिलियन जीतने के लिए कौन वापस आएगा? वो पानी में चले जा रहे हैं, चले जा रहे हैं, वो आगे चले जा रहे हैं। वो देखता था कि मैं मछली पकड़ रहा हूँ, रोज पानी में डूब रहा हूँ, अंदर जा रहा हूँ, और ये साथ वाला आदमी जो है रोज किताब पढ़ता है, कभी लियो टॉल्स्टॉय पढ़ रहा है, कभी चेतन भगत पढ़ ले रहा है। ये कैसा आदमी है? और दोनों के दोनों जो है अंदर चले जा रहे हैं। फिर एक दिन जिन्होंने जिंदगी जी थी, जिनको जिंदगी का तजुर्बा था, वो थक गए। वो थक गए, रोज उसको चिढ़ाते थे, अरे तुमने जिंदगी जी है क्या, तुमने जिंदगी जी है क्या, तुमने जिंदगी जी है क्या। अब ये थक गए और एक दिन ये बेहोश हो गए। ठीक है, और वहीं जो एजुकेशनिस्ट थे वो वहीं पर थे, उसी बोट में थे। अचानक से जब उनकी आंख खुली, जो बेहोश हो गए सज्जन, उनकी जब आंख खुली, उन्होंने देखा, नितिन आप मेरी बात ध्यान से सुन रहे हैं, मेरे पास सवाल है आपके लिए, है ना, कहीं पता चला आपकी आंख खुली, आपने देखा। तो जब उन्होंने देखा तो उन्होंने खुद को एक हॉस्पिटल में पाया, और उन्होंने देखा कि सामने मेरे वही सज्जन एकेडमिशियन एजुकेशनिस्ट वो बैठे हुए हैं, साथ में फल वल रखे हुए, उन्होंने कहा, उनका पहला सवाल क्या था, मैं यहाँ कैसे पहुँचा, ये सवाल हो सकता है, या हम यहाँ कैसे आए। उनका पहला सवाल था, ये बताओ शर्त कौन जीता, शर्त कौन जीता, 1 मिलियन ये सब क्या हुआ, मैं यहाँ कैसे पहुँचा, वो सब बाद में, पहले बताओ शर्त कौन जीता। उन्होंने कहा वो छोड़ो, पहले मैं बताता हूँ कि हम यहाँ कैसे पहुँचे। ठीक है, उन्होंने बताया। अब मैम यहाँ से मेरे सवालों का दौर शुरू होता है। ठीक है, सो आई विल जस्ट कम टू यू मैम। आपने सबसे पहले बोट का नंबर नोट किया था, तो आप मुझे बताएंगे कि वो लोग वहाँ पर कैसे पहुँचे, कोई वाइल्ड गेस। ये फ्रेज है, पढ़ाई की थी या जिंदगी जी थी, तो आपको क्या लगता है वो लोग वहाँ पर कैसे पहुँचे?
जो जिंदगी भर की जो पढ़ाई थी वो उस दौर में उन्होंने एब्जॉर्ब की, एनालाइज किया, और उसका जो असली अर्थ उस जर्नी में समझ में आया। सो बाद में इवेंचुअली दे इमर्ज्ड एज विनर्स।
प्लीज देखिए, आप सारे लोग यहाँ एकेडमिक्स की फील्ड से हैं, और मुझे टिल द टाइम मैं पढ़ाई करता रहा, मैंने डबल एमए किया वो भी यहाँ से। मैं जब तक पढ़ाई करता रहा, मुझे मेरे टीचर्स ने एक ही बात बोली कि गलत आंसर कोई नहीं होता है। तो प्लीज हाँ, आपको क्लैप करना पड़ेगा, या तो आप लोग ये मानते हैं कि गलत आंसर होता है। मैम आप बताएंगे वो लोग वहाँ पर कैसे पहुँचे?
I agree with her what she just said. Through education and enjoying life, they achieved it.
They achieved it. They together achieved it. वो वहाँ पर पहुँचे। अच्छा ठीक है, मैं पंजाब की तरफ आता हूँ, है ना। मुझे लगता है इसका आंसर जो है वो हमें पंजाब से मिल सकता है। सर सत श्री अकाल, किदा तुसी?
Your question is quite tricky because yes, very tricky because one got fainted and one was still in the boat.
Yeah.
Even I am not able to fit how did they reach back. But definitely the person who was तजुर्बाकार, वो पहले पहुंच गया, तो education से तो जीत ही गया वो, because the shart was that who will reach back first.
Yes.
So rest of the things I don't know whether it's the right answer or wrong answer.
Sir, nothing is the right answer.
All right. Sir, okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
सर अटेम्प्ट करने के बहुत ज़रूरी नंबर होते हैं, एंड मुझे बार बार वो कान में बोल रहे हैं कि हमारे चीफ गेस्ट जो हैं वो बस पहुंच चुके हैं होटल में। प्लीज़ ये मेरे को कहानी का अंत करने दीजिए। चीफ गेस्ट उन्हीं की कहानी है। मैम वुड यू लाइक टू आंसर दिस, वुड यू लाइक टू टेक अ ट्राई ऑन दिस कि वो लोग वहाँ पर कैसे पहुँचे?
एजुकेशनिस्ट ने जो तजुर्बा जीने के तजुर्बे वालों को बचा लिया।
वेरी क्लोज टू द आंसर, वेरी क्लोज टू द आंसर। प्लीज अब मैं आपको इसकी कहानी का, कोई और अटेम्प्ट करना चाहेगा ये आंसर? कोई और अटेम्प्ट करना चाहेगा ये आंसर? वैसे मैंने वादा किया था नितिन से। नितिन हमारे साथी हैं। नितिन मैं आपको प्लीज बताऊं, नितिन हमारे ग्रुप वीडियो हेड हैं। ये जितने भी सब, प्लीज नितिन आप वीडियो स्टैंड अप, एंड बहुत मेहनत की है इनकी टीम ने आज ये काम करने में। एंड नितिन ये जितना भी कैमरा वगैरह सब आप देख रहे हैं, ये नितिन और उनकी टीम की वजह से। नितिन आपको क्या लगता है ये कैसे पहुंचे होंगे?
सो आई थिंक एजुकेशन ने हेल्प की होगी जिंदगी के तजुर्बे को।
वेरी क्लोज, वेरी क्लोज, आप क्लोज पहुंच गए हैं। सो अब मैं इसके क्लोजर पर आता हूं स्टोरी के, क्योंकि मुझे बार बार बताया जा रहा है कि चीफ गेस्ट जो है वो वहां पर पहुंच चुके हैं। देखिए हुआ क्या, वो बार बार उसको कहता था तुमने जिंदगी जी है, और वो उसको कहते थे तुमने पढ़ाई की है। तो जब उसकी आंख खुली तो उसने कहा बताओ मैं यहाँ कैसे पहुंचा। तो उसने कहा पढ़ाई की होती तो मालूम होता, डॉग के अंदर एक मैनुअल रखी थी। मैनुअल के पहले पेज पे रखा था कि दूसरी बोट पर जो नंबर है वो मिलाओगे तो रेस्क्यू टीम आ जाएगी। दूसरी बोट पर जो नंबर है वो मिलाओगे तो रेस्क्यू टीम आ जाएगी। पढ़ाई की होती तो अच्छा होता। तो उसने कहा दोस्त तुम कितने बड़े हो, तुमने मेरे लिए 1 मिलियन छोड़ा और दूसरी बोट का, मेरी बोट का नंबर मिलाया, मैं 1 मिलियन जीता। उसने कहा नहीं, मैं इतना भी मूर्ख नहीं, मैंने नंबर अपनी ही बोट का मिलाया था। और जितने दिन तुमने यहाँ पर तैराकी सीखी, मैं इतना सीख गया था कि तैर के तुम्हारी बोट तक कैसे जाना है। मैंने तुम्हारी बोट का 8703 नंबर पढ़ा और उसको किया। सो पढ़ाई जरूरी है, राइट? वैसे मैं आपको बता दूं ये कहानी मैंने जिंदगी के तजुर्बे से सीखी। और पढ़ाई की बात जहां तक आती है, एक और दिलचस्प बात, आजकल के बच्चों को एआई के बारे में बहुत पढ़ाया जाता है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के बारे में। हम आपके साथ में इसके बाद, जब हमारी वेब टीम जो है वो आपके साथ इसके बाद में इंटरैक्ट करेगी और हम आपको कुछ क्वेश्चंस भेजेंगे। आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूट्स में एआई को किस तरह से इनेबल कर रहे हैं, आप अपने स्टूडेंट्स को एआई के बारे में किस तरह से सीखते रहे हैं। मैं आपको एआई के बारे में एक दिलचस्प कहानी बताना चाहता हूँ। हमने एआई को लेकर कुछ डिज़ाइन बनाए और हमारे यहाँ पर कुछ लोग होते हैं जो कॉपीज लिखते हैं, क्विक कॉपीज लिखते हैं। तो उन्होंने एआई के थ्रू कॉपीज में इन्वेंशन करना शुरू किया। तब यहाँ रोहित वत्स हैं, आपने एक पैनल भी किया था, आप डीएनए के एडिटर हैं। रोहित, इफ यू प्लीज स्टैंड अप। दैट्स रोहित वत्स एंड इन्होंने इनकी टीम के अंदर ये घटना है। सो दिस लेडी केम एंड शी आस्क्ड, सर आप लोगों ने मेरे कंप्यूटर में क्या डाल दिया है? उन्होंने कहा क्या डाल दिया है? यस, उन्होंने कहा क्या डाल दिया है? तो उन्होंने कहा कुछ नहीं, ये सर आप में से किसी ने हाथ खड़ा कीजिएगा। हाँ, इंटरैक्टिव सेशन है, प्लीज हाथ खड़ा कीजिएगा। और नहीं पता हो तो भी आपके लिए मेरे पास है, आप में से चैट जीपीटी का नाम कितने लोगों ने सुना है? हाथ खड़ा कीजिएगा। ओह, ऑलमोस्ट एवरीबॉडी। हमारे प्रोडक्ट एंड टेक वाले जो हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी वाले, उन्होंने सबसे ऊंचा हाथ खड़ा किया कि मैं उनसे पूछ लूं तो शायद कुछ ग्रेटिफिकेशन मिले। तो चैट जीपीटी के बारे में कितने लोगों को मालूम है? प्लीज बताइए। ओके सर, ये मेरा लास्ट इंटरैक्टिव क्वेश्चन है और मैं आपको वो इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरी खत्म करता हूं कि मेरे कंप्यूटर में आपने क्या डाल दिया। प्लीज वहां पर मेरे साथ बने रहिएगा। मैम, चैट जीपीटी पर हाथ खड़ा किया था आपने, राइट? तो चैट जीपीटी, आप प्लीज अपना नाम बता के और चैट जीपीटी के बारे में आप क्या जानती हो बताइए।
चैट जीपीटी एक्चुअली रादर अब तो पुरानी चीज़ हो गई है, क्योंकि हम GPT-3 यूज़ कर रहे हैं और वो नहीं सर, GPT-4 इज़ द न्यूअर वर्जन, राइट, जो पेड वर्जन है, जो बिंग भी यूज़ कर रहा है। और GPT-3 वो है जो हम लोग सब अपने अप्रेजल के लिए यूज़ करते हैं।
ये अक्षांश, ये तो हमें पता ही नहीं था, ये तो ठीक से चेक करना पड़ेगा। सर, चैट जीपीटी के बारे में आप क्या जानते हैं?
Well, it's a NLP, which is natural language processing model, which generates, text like a human being. Something which was not thought about earlier, but today it is possible. And GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer.
Oh, so, yes, it is indeed. And sir, आप अपने इंस्टीट्यूट्स में इसका किसी तरह का कोई यूज करते हैं?
Not GPT per se, but AI to a great extent in terms of understanding the needs of the students and see where are the gaps that exist which can be addressed in terms of their learning outcomes.
Sir, do you use ChatGPT? Any awareness you have about the thing?
I have personally tried ChatGPT, and I think it is human-like, but it'll go only so far as the training set goes. So it is very susceptible to inaccurate information, especially in the scientific field. It'll try to make things seem natural and seem authoritative, but you have to take it with a pinch of salt.
So pinch of salt पे ही हमारी कहानी जो है वो आके टिकी है कि pinch of salt में हुआ क्या? रोहित की टीम में, मैम आई एम टेकिंग योर टाइम, आई एम सो सॉरी। हाँ, सो रोहित की टीम में ये जो हमारी कंटेंट राइटर हैं वो आई और उन्होंने कहा, सर आपने मेरे कंप्यूटर में ये क्या डाल दिया है? तो उन्होंने कहा क्या हुआ? उन्होंने कहा मेरा बच्चा अभी 4th क्लास से 5th क्लास में गया है। उन्होंने कहा ओके, और वो मुझसे सवाल पूछ रहा है यूनिवर्स के बारे में, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के बारे में, और कल उसको किसी ने बताया कि चार्ल्स डार्विन जो है वो गलत थे। और जब उनको बताया गया कि चार्ल्स डार्विन गलत थे तो वो किसने बताया? तो उसने कहा ये आपके लैपटॉप ने। सो चैट जीपीटी, यस सर, पिंच ऑफ सॉल्ट के साथ में कभी कभी कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशंस उसमें गलत भी आती हैं, एंड दैट्स वेयर ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस जो है वो इट कम्स इन। ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस के दो वेरी नोन पीपल, एंड आई थिंक दे बोथ आर एम्बलम्स ऑफ ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस। वन इज मिस्टर मधु सोमान, Vion के CEO and Managing Director. I would like to introduce him. Sir, please, if you can stand up. वैसे लोगों ने आपको देखा है. Amazing journalist, great in content, and he knows about many things about human intelligence. Sir, I have a question for you before our chief guest comes in. Sir, human intelligence, कब तक AI उसको beat कर सकता है या वो उसको match करेगी, complement करेगी?
फंसा दिया, मुझे नहीं मालूम. I had a conversation. I was on a summer break with my son in London. Nothing is original about anything that I say. So I was speaking to somebody whom I've always looked up to, both as a friend and a mentor. He said, while we are talking of the possibilities and the challenges of AI and what AI and ChatGPT and generative AI can do, we seem to forget the fact that we are still human beings. If you look at the ecosystem, we are probably not the strongest or most physical of the species. It's the sheer ability of our intelligence to innovate and stay ahead that has kept us on top of the value chain. So to overnight expect our own intelligence to surrender to intelligence that we ourselves are creating, it's ludicrous to say the least. So my reading is the human beings as a species will remain on top as long as we are tolerant and be open to innovation. And the best way to look at what transformative ability AI or any of these new technologies can have is to see that most of the repetitive jobs that make us continue work in a sausage factory mode, that might get replicated by or taken over by AI. And that should allow us to aspire for bigger and better jobs and better quality of life at the end of the day.
एंड मैं आपको बता दूं कि जितने लोगों ने माइक पकड़ के बाइट दी है वो टीवी पर भी आएगी, तो जस्ट दैट्स द ग्रेटिफिकेशन. सो मैं आपके और लंच के बीच में और अगले सेगमेंट ऑफ प्रोग्राम के बीच में बाधा नहीं बनना चाहता. सो वी विल स्टार्ट दिस नाउ एंड आई होप कि आप लोग जब यहाँ से बाहर जाएंगे तो अपने इंस्टीट्यूट्स में अपने लोगों को महेंद्र नाथ जी की वो स्टोरी ज़रूर सुनाएंगे कि बोट कहाँ तक पहुँची थी और पढ़ाई कितनी ज़रूरी है और तजुर्बा कितना ज़रूरी है. थैंक यू सो मच. थैंक यू.
Sushant, for that engaging and interactive session. I would now like to call on stage Dr. Loya, Chief Innovation and Technology Group Officer, for our next set of awards. Can we have a round of applause for Dr. Loya, ladies and gentlemen? The award for Innovative International Partnerships with Universities in South Asia. The award goes to University of Technology, Sydney, UTS, Australia. Can we have a round of applause for the award of Innovative International Partnerships with Universities in South Asia? And the award goes to University of Technology, Sydney, UTS, Australia. And the award for excellence in design pedagogy goes to Avantika University. Can we have a round of applause for the award of excellence in design pedagogy? It goes to Avantika University. Congratulations, sir. The award for Innovation in Curriculum, North India. The award goes to Chintil's Group of Schools, Kanpur. A round of applause for the award of Innovation in Curriculum, North India. And the award goes to Chintil's Group of Schools, Kanpur. Congratulations, ma'am. The award for First Inclusive Education set up in school, and the award goes to Maria's Public School, Guwahati, Assam. Can we have a round of applause for the award of First Inclusive Education set up in school, and the award goes to Maria's Public School, Guwahati, Assam. And the award for First Inclusive Education set up in school, like we just mentioned, went to Maria's Public School. Moving on, education to most inaccessible region of country, and the award goes to Mahabodhi Residential School, Leh Ladakh. That is the award for providing quality education to most inaccessible region of the country. The award goes to Mahabodhi Residential School, Leh Ladakh. round of applause for Mahabodhi. The award for Most Emerging Higher Education University of the Year in the Northeast region. The award goes to Sikkim University. A round of applause for Sikkim University, who gets the award of Most Emerging Higher Education University of the Year in the Northeast region. Well, the award for the most trusted global kids education brand. That award goes to Brain Kids Academy Private Limited. Can we round of applause for the most trusted global kids education brand? And the award goes to Brain Kids Academy Private Limited. Round of applause for the most trusted global kids education brand, and the award goes to Brain Kids Academy Private Limited.
Welcome to Brain Kids Academy, unlocking the genius within. At Brain, we believe every child is unique and possesses immense potential. Our mission is to nurture their talent, boost their creativity, and empower them with essential life skills. Our innovative Brain program combines the power of mental arithmetic and personality development. It stimulates both hemispheres of the brain, enhancing cognitive abilities, concentration, memory, and problem-solving skills. Our experienced and dedicated instructors create a supportive environment where children gain confidence, communication skills, and leadership qualities. They learn to express themselves effectively and overcome challenges, preparing them for a successful future. Founded in the year 2003, Brain is now a global pioneer in the abacus industry, with an ISO 9001:2015 certification and 2 Guinness World Records. Brain's global presence sprawls across 45 countries through more than 1,000 centers, an alumni of 4 lakh children. For its commendable service, Brain has been awarded 2 Guinness World Records, Times Education Icon Award, Pride of Indian Education Award, Best Kids Education Brand Award. Join the Brain family today and give your child the gift of limitless possibilities. With our proven methodology, personalized attention, and a fun-filled learning experience, we are committed to shaping young minds and helping them become tomorrow's leaders. Brain Kids Academy, empowering young geniuses worldwide.
And the award for the best infrastructure amongst engineering college. The award goes to Bennett University, Greater Noida. Can we have a round of applause for Bennett University, Greater Noida? That's the award for best infrastructure amongst engineering college. That's the Bennett University for the best infrastructure amongst engineering college in India. And the award for Youth Visionary for Education. It goes to actor and humanitarian Sanjana Sanghi. Sanjana Sanghi is a Delhi University gold medalist and a leading actor in Hindi cinema. She is a remarkable young talent who has swiftly captured the hearts of the youth. In 2020, she made her breakthrough as a leading actor in the movie Dil Bechara. Instantly, she became a household name. Well, Sanjana's commitment to humanitarian work began in 2014 when she volunteered as a teacher at a child's rights NGO in New Delhi. Her belief in the transformative power of education for youth drove her to become the UNDP's India's ambassador for the Youth Collab and Save the Children's Youth Advocate for Education. And that's the award for the Youth Visionary for Education. It goes to Sanjana Sanghi. Can we have a round of applause for Sanjana Sanghi, lady? The Youth Visionary for Education, actor and humanitarian Sanjana Sanghi. A round of applause for Sanjana Sanghi, ladies and gentlemen. I would also request Ms. Sangi to share a few words with us.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, thank you so much for recognizing my work in this sphere. I actually became so connected with the purpose of education simply because it's personal. I'm from Delhi. This is my hometown. I went to Lady Shri Ram College and did my bachelor's in journalism. And getting into university in India can be a pretty daunting task. I had to get a very high aggregate percentage to get into LSR, which was my dream college. But what I realized when I did that was that even when you feel that you don't have too much, I knew that I can't go abroad to study, for example. That's when you turn inwards, and that's when you start putting in the work and putting in the hours, and then anything can be possible. Every day, my academia fuels the actor in me. The fact that I'm curious about so many different things helps me become a better actor. And that's why I chose to start teaching. So in 2014, I became a teacher volunteer at a child rights NGO here in Delhi. And it's been about 10 years now. And my work with organizations like Save the Children and like UNDP allow me to reach different corners of the country and spread the message of education being the most transformative tool for the youth. So I hope I can continue doing that, and thank you for recognizing that.
Thank you, Sanjana. We, of course, relate with how difficult it is to get into the top colleges of DU. I would also like to call Dr. Loya on the stage yet again to award our last set of winners. Dr. Loya, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for Dr. Loya? The award for promoting a spirit of adventure, it goes to the Punjab Public School, Nabha, Punjab. Can we have a round of applause for the award of promoting a spirit of adventure? The award goes to the Punjab Public School, Nabha, Punjab. Right. And the award for excellence in pedagogy goes to Venkateshwar Group of Schools. A round of applause for the award of excellence in pedagogy, and the award goes to Venkateshwar Group of Schools. Round of applause for Venkateshwar Group of Schools, ladies and gentlemen. And the last award is Excellence in MUN, and the award goes to Bluebells Group of Schools, Gurugram. A round of applause for Bluebells Group of Schools, Gurugram. And the award for excellence in MUN goes to Bluebells Group of Schools, Gurugram. A round of applause for Bluebells Group of Schools. Thank you, sir, and congratulations to all the winners. I would now like to call on stage Sushant Mohan, CEO, DMCL, and Ms. Sanjana Sanghi, who is Ms. Sanjana Sanghi. I would request her to also come on the stage, and I have a one-on-one interaction with Sushant Mohan on the impact of education in today's time. Stage is all yours.
Yeah, we will stand first. Yeah. So, थोड़ा मैंने जो पैसे दिए थे फोटो खींचो. So fine. This is Sanjana and thank you Vinita. Actually क्या है Vinita मेरे लिए काम करते हैं. मैंने Vinita को बोला था कि Vinita हम एंकर को बाहर बांध के आए हैं और मैं यहाँ खड़ा हूँगा.
Perfect.
है ना? तो ये बिल्कुल ठीक है एकदम. So guys संजना एकदम समझती है दिल्ली वाली हैं. So संजना हमारे साथ हैं और संजना देखिए ये ना इम्प्रॉम्प्टू था. क्या था कि हमें दो चीज़ें चाहिए होती है लाइफ में. एक हमें चाहिए होता है एजुकेशन, वो तो ये सारे लोग दे ही रहे हैं. दूसरा हमें टीआरपी भी चाहिए है ना. तो वो संजना क्या है कि हमें पता है कि वो कहाँ से आनी है. एंड गाइज आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू दैट संजना इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंटेलिजेंट सेलिब्रिटी यू विल एवर मीट. और उसका कारण है नॉट जस्ट बिकॉज शी इज इन रियल, आपका एजुकेशन बैकग्राउंड, आपकी पढ़ाई, आपका जो सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर, विट और इंटेलिजेंस है वो तो बहुत अच्छा है. लेकिन मेरे पास हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के कुछ सवाल हैं. ठीक है. और अब आपको प्रूव करना पड़ेगा कि वो जो सारा विट, ह्यूमर, इंटेलिजेंस है वो सब आएगा कि नहीं. तो मेरे पास कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं और ये क्वेश्चन निकालने के लिए हम लोगों ने काफ़ी मेहनत की. हमने एक सर्वे किया जिस पर छोटे छोटे स्टूडेंट्स ने भी अपने सवाल पूछे. तो आई विल गिव यू अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस.
Are you doing common knowledge type stuff?
नहीं कॉमन नॉलेज नहीं है, वेरी कॉमन नॉलेज. ठीक है. तो यू जस्ट डोंट वरी अबाउट दीज. सो सबसे पहला सवाल जो है एंड ये प्रिंसी हैं, मॉडर्न स्कूल क्लास 9th A. सर ये पहला सवाल है आज का.
Modern school? Which modern school?
मॉडर्न स्कूल दिल्ली.
I am from modern school
अरे
Delhi.
क्या बात कर रहे हो. तो ये जानबूझ के इसने पहला सवाल पूछा है. ये दिस इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम मॉडर्न स्कूल. तो मॉडर्न स्कूल से एंड आवर चीफ गेस्ट डॉक्टर महेंद्र नाथ जी इज हियर. महेंद्र जी थैंक यू सो मच. प्लीज. ग्रेट. महेंद्र जी नमस्ते. संजना जी हमारे साथ हैं और संजना जी हम महेंद्र जी का काफी देर से वेट कर रहे थे. तो ये कुछ सवाल अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं. हाँ, पहला सवाल है, आपने कभी स्कूल बंक किया है मैम? ये मैम लिख के भेजा है उसने. ठीक है. आपने कभी स्कूल बंक किया मैम?
राइट आंसर या रॉन्ग आंसर क्या चाहिए?
देखिए आप वो आंसर दीजिए जो सच होता है ना.
सच्चा आंसर ये है कि मॉडर्न स्कूल बाराखंबा रोड जो मेरा स्कूल है वो एक ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूशन है जहाँ अगर आपको क्लास के बाहर चीज़ें करने में मज़ा आता है वो आपको करने देते हैं. तो बंक करने की नौबत आती नहीं है. पर किया तो हुआ ही है.
मैं बंक करके जो सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग जगह गया हूँ, क्योंकि उस समय पे मेरी पॉकेट मनी ने जो अलाउ किया और मेरे पेरेंट्स ने जो अलाउ किया और जितनी मुझ में हिम्मत थी, मैं बंक करके घर गया था. हाँ, आप बंक करके
हम
कहाँ
बंक करके बंगाली मार्केट जाते थे जहाँ हम नत्थू स्वीट्स पे गोलगप्पे खाते थे और रिफ्यूजी मार्केट में हम मठरा कुलचा खाते थे.
ये छोले भटूरे नहीं आ रहे बीच में. अच्छा वो फर्क भी दिख रहा है. देखिए छोले भटूरे इधर, फिटनेस इधर, तो वो फर्क तो दिखाई दे ही रहा है. अच्छा अगला सवाल है, ये है सुप्रिया का क्लास 10th C. रोहित ये आपका अपना सवाल है राइट? ठीक है. सवाल बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग है. आपको मैथ्स पसंद था क्या स्कूल में? मैथमेटिक्स में आप कैसे थे?
मेरा मैथमेटिकल माइंड एक्चुअली काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग है. पर मैथ्स वो एक सब्जेक्ट था जहाँ मुझे एग्जाम के पहले सिवियर परफॉर्मेंस एंजाइटी हो जाती थी. पर आई गॉट ओवर इट, विच इज व्हाई आई गॉट अ 95 in my math 12th board on 100.
Oh, lovely. That's lovely. Big round of applause. That's a big number.
But it's not my favorite subject.
It's not your favorite. आपका favorite subject कौन सा है?
साइकोलॉजी.
साइकोलॉजी
जी.
आप ब्रेन पढ़ सकती हैं.
हाँ.
आप बताइए मेरे दिमाग में अभी क्या चल रहा है. बताइए.
ये चल रहा है कि आप कितने लकी हैं कि मैं आपके साथ स्टेज पे खड़ी हूँ.
पढ़ रहे हैं, दिमाग पढ़ पा रही है. अच्छा अब मेरा जो अगला सवाल आपसे है, क्योंकि ये तो महेंद्र जी के क्वेश्चन खुल गए मेरे पास. अगला सवाल जो मेरा है, there is only one word spelled wrong in the dictionary. What is it? There is कोई हूट नहीं करेगा प्लीज, कोई बताएगा नहीं. ये बहुत ही मुश्किल सवाल है और ये 1 करोड़ रुपए के लिए, जो कि अगर इन्होंने सही दिया मुझे मिलेंगे.
The word is.
क्या बात है. सही जवाब. आप ताली बजाने में कंजूसी कर रहे हैं. ओके, अब मैं आपको एक मुश्किल सवाल, आखिरी सवाल, मुश्किल सवाल. आर हिपोज वेजिटेरियन? और ये सवाल, सॉरी मैं बताना है मुझे संग्राम ने पूछा है सेंट एंड्रियो स्कूल से, ये 3rd B में पढ़ते हैं। संग्राम, अगर आप हमें देख रहे हैं, संजना आपके सवालों का जवाब दे रही हैं। और आर हिप्पोज वेजिटेरियन?
Hippos are herbivores. Now, I don't know if they're vegetarian for sure.
यार हर्बीवोर हुआ तो वेजिटेरियन,
Right.
हाँ
So then
हर्बीवोर
the-
वो विराट कोहली की तरह होता है, वीगन। आजकल वीगन बहुत चल रहा है।
I think, okay, so the answer is yes, hippos are vegetarian.
यस यस,
right?
जोरदार तालियां भाई, एकदम सही जवाब। अब मैं आपको एक मुश्किल टास्क देने वाला हूँ, देन वी विल आस्क यू कि आप बैठें, अपना स्थान लें। लेकिन
जी।
उससे पहले मैं ना अपनी टीम के 2 लोगों से काफी तंग था। मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप ना उन पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट में थोड़ा सा बॉलीवुड सिखा दें।
थोड़ा बॉलीवुड सिखा
हाँ,
दें।
ये क्या है ना, ये मीटिंग के अंदर सिर्फ एक्सेल दिखाते हैं। हाँ, मीटिंग में एक्सेल दिखाएंगे और फिर अप्रेजल में आंखें। ये किस तरह की बात हुई? आपको हमें कुछ इस तरह की बातें बतानी चाहिए ना कि आप आए हैं तो प्रेजेंटेशन अच्छी तरह से दो, और 2-3 डायलॉग तो बड़े फेमस हैं। तो अगर आप इन दोनों लोगों को वो डायलॉग सिखा सके तो बहुत बहुत कृपा होगी। मैं उनको बुला दूं, सिर्फ 2 डायलॉग अगर आप उनको सिखा दें। हाँ, तो मैं बुलाना चाहूँगा अक्षांश और अर्नव को ऑन द स्टेज। प्लीज कम ओवर हियर। मैम, ये लोग दोनों सुपर इंटेलिजेंट लोग और उससे भी ज्यादा बोरिंग। ऐसा मैंने कहा नहीं है। तो ये अर्नव, अक्षांश, प्लीज प्लीज कम ओवर, द मोस्ट ब्रिलियंट पीपल ऑफ आवर टीम। प्लीज जोरदार तालियां अर्नव और अक्षांश के लिए। मैं आपको बता दूं, अक्षांश जो हैं वो हमारे यहाँ पर प्रोडक्ट एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के हेड हैं। आप ये सारी जो टेक्नोलॉजी देख रहे हैं, ये इसी बंदे ने डिजाइन की है, लेकिन कुछ बोलता नहीं है। दैट्स हिज प्रॉब्लम। ये देखिए, ये ऐसे हंसता भी एकदम साइलेंट मोड पे है, इसका म्यूट ही खत्म नहीं हो रहा है।
Because his speciality lies elsewhere.
हाँ, ये दिक्कत है। मतलब मैं चाहता हूँ कुछ तो बोले, मेरे साथ कैसे जेल अप करेगा यार। वी आर इन द वन टीम। और देन दिस इज अर्नव। अर्नव का प्रॉब्लम अलग है। अर्नव का काम है चुप रहना। ही इज नॉट स्टेइंग क्वाइट। सो दैट्स द डिफिकल्टी। सो मैं, अगर आप इन दोनों को एक एक डायलॉग सिखा दें, कोई भी जो आपका पसंदीदा, आप ओम शांति ओम का सिखा, आप अपनी फिल्मों का सिखा सकते हैं, आप गैंग्स ऑफ वासेपुर पर, इनको प्लीज कुछ सिखा दीजिए सो दैट it goes on digital
I
also.
think since you are borderline bullying them at this point, all I would tell you to do is walk into the room and tell him, Sadda hak, ethirak. And that's it. A dialogue from Rockstar, which a film I was in, so that's all. And they can then show you your place also, right?
At least somebody recognized that we are being bullied. I hope Dr. Loya is taking note of that.
You never know, our talent lies somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, you've entered the conference room now, and he's bullying you as per usual.
Arnav should take the lead. I guess Arnav is a senior actor. Sushant Sadahak Etherak.
Yes. That was good dialogue delivery.
Sada hak itherak. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Sushant.
Thank you.
Sanjana, thank you so much. I think time is passing, and we will surely disturb you for another bite outside. But thank you so much. That was lovely interacting with you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That was quite a session, Sushant. Thank you, Sushant and Ms. Sanjana. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our chief guest for today's event, Shri Mahendranath Pandey, Minister of Heavy Industries. He previously served as the Minister for Skill Development of India. Shri Pandey has played a key role in the promotion and development of the automotive industry in the country. He has worked towards enhancing India's manufacturing capabilities with an aim to make the Indian auto industry global. Not only this, Shri Pandey has also taken important steps on driving India towards a clean mobility and has also inaugurated a first-of-its-kind incubation center for nurturing startups in the automotive industry. Please give it up for our chief guest, Shri Mahendranath Pandey. I would request you, sir, to please come up on the stage and share a few words with us. That is Shri Mahendranath Pandey, our chief guest. Can we have a round of applause for Shri Mahendranath Pandey, ladies and gentlemen? So you can come on the podium itself.
Big round of applause, please.
दीजिए आप लोग, आपके इम्पोर्टेंट आदमियों का नाम तो दीजिए आप लोग। अरे भाई खड़ा कर दिए, कोई नाम नहीं दे रहे तो कैसे?
मैं आपको नाम तुरंत बता रहा हूँ और मैं आपके लिए एक छोटा सा इंट्रोडक्शन अगर मैं पास कर सकूँ, इफ यू विल अलाउ मी, मैं माइक ले रहा हूँ प्लीज। डॉक्टर महेंद्र जी हमारे साथ हैं सर, प्लीज 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 सर प्लीज जी। डॉक्टर महेंद्र जी हमारे साथ हैं और मैं आपको बता दूं कि इस कार्यक्रम से पहले जितनी भी अवार्ड्स हमारे यहाँ पर हुए, उन सभी अवार्ड्स के दौरान पे सर लगातार हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए थे। सर का सपोर्ट हमारे साथ था, आशीर्वाद हमारे साथ था। और सर की जो सबसे बड़ी खासियत है वो ये है कि सर पहले एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में उन्होंने बहुत काम किया, एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर भी रहे सर, इफ़ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग। एंड डॉक्टर साहब के साथ में हमारा इंटरेक्शन बहुत पुराना है, बहुत रिलेशनशिप बहुत पुराना है। और सर अगर कैन वी हैव अ माइक प्लीज, थैंक यू सर। मैं सबसे पहले आपसे इस बात के लिए माफ़ी चाहूँगा, स्टेज पर मैं इस बात को कह रहा हूँ, मैं इस बात के लिए माफ़ी चाहूँगा। दरअसल आने में जो हम लोगों से जो चूक हुई वो इस वजह से क्योंकि एक सेशन चल रहा था और आगे पीछे में वो चूक हुई। मैं इस बात के लिए क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ और हम इस बात को सुधार करेंगे बिल्कुल। सर जी न्यूज़ में सबसे पहले आपका सबसे ज़्यादा स्वागत है, धन्यवाद सबसे पहले आने के लिए। सर हम लोग एजुफ्यूचर एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड्स, ये हमारा सीजन 3 है और एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में जितने लोगों ने बड़े बड़े काम किए हैं, जिन लोगों ने बहुत सारे इनोवेशंस किए हैं, ये इन लोगों को सराहने के लिए, उन लोगों को उनके प्रयासों को सराहने के लिए हमने ये अवार्ड्स रचे थे। अब ये इसका तीसरा संस्करण है सर। सर भारत में जिस तरह से एजुकेशन में बदलाव आया है, जिस तरह से रोजगार बढ़ा है, उसके ऊपर मैं आपकी सबसे पहले उसके बारे में आपकी राय जानना चाहता था सर। माइक प्लीज।
क्या आपका क्वेश्चन था जरा?
जी मैं फिर से बताऊंगा।
रिपीट करिए अपने सवाल।
जी मैं फिर से कहूँगा सर। एजुफ्यूचर एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड हमारा तीसरा संस्करण है। हम यहाँ पर एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में, एकेडमिक्स के क्षेत्र में काम करने वाले जितने भी हमारे साथी हैं, एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, हम उनको यहाँ पर प्रिविलेज देते हैं, उनको अवार्ड करते हैं, उनका सम्मान करते हैं। साथ में स्टूडेंट्स के साथ भी, उन एंड तक स्टूडेंट्स के साथ भी हम लोग कनेक्ट करते हैं। सर इन सभी लोगों ने जितना भी अभी तक हमें बताया, आज सुबह से जो कार्यक्रम चले, इन सभी लोगों ने जो हमें बताया कि पिछले कुछ सालों में भारत में एजुकेशन का स्तर ऊंचा बढ़ा है, भारत में रोजगार के अवसर बढ़े हैं। क्या ये सही है? आप इसे कैसे देखते हैं?
देखिए पहले तो मैं जी न्यूज के इस एजुकेशन फील्ड में जो संस्थाएं, जो व्यक्ति अच्छा कर रहे हैं, उनको एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड आप दे रहे हैं, ये बहुत ही प्रशंसनीय काम है। और आपके जो भी सीनियर्स और इससे जुड़े लोग हैं, मैं उन्हें अपनी तरफ से बहुत साधुवाद देता हूं, उनको हृदय से सम्मान व्यक्त करता हूं। जहाँ तक आपने जो सवाल किया है, आपको माननीय मोदी जी की सरकार के आने के बाद मैं एक ही वाक्य में बोल सकता हूँ कि 389 यूनिवर्सिटीज़ भारत में 2014 तक थी। आज यूनिवर्सिटीज़ 667 से एबव है। तो इतना बड़ा चेंज 9 साल में हो गया। भारत के अंदर आज हमारे पहले पूरे देश में केवल 15 IITs थी, आज 11 और प्लस हुई 9 सालों में। मेडिकल के फील्ड में मैं बहुत डिटेल में जाके आपके पास, चूँकि मैं माफ़ी चाहूँगा, मैं एक दूसरे जगह उलझा हुआ था, मैं देर से आया हूँ, मेरा काम 1:15 आना था, मैं 45 मिनट देर से आया था यहाँ। तो बहुत से लोगों का टाइम शेड्यूल, और मैं इस नाते बहुत संक्षेप में कुछ बातें बोल के मेरा और एक जगह एंगेजमेंट है, जाना है। तो जैसे एम्स, मेडिकल एजुकेशन और हॉस्पिटल फैसिलिटी दोनों, हायर मेडिकल का, हायर एजुकेशन का जो स्टैंडर्ड होता है एम्स का, भारत के अंदर अटल जी की सरकार के पहले केवल R&D इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ मेडिकल साइंसेज एक था दिल्ली। उसे लगा कि विश्व स्तरीय उच्च चिकित्सा शिक्षा और चिकित्सा सुविधा दोनों के लिए एम्स रहना चाहिए। अटल जी के रिजिम में 6 एम्स और बने, अटल जी के 6 सालों में, और उसके बाद 2004 से 14 तक एक भी एम्स नहीं बना, एक भी नहीं बना 10 सालों में। तो एक बनने की शुरुआत हुई रायबरेली में, अधूरा रहा, उसे भी मोदी सरकार आके पूरा की। और 2014 में माननीय मोदी जी के गवर्नमेंट में आने के बाद एम्स मेडिकल एजुकेशन का इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड का जो मानक है उस पर, और इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड की चिकित्सा सुविधा दोनों के लिए आपको मैं चाहूँगा थोड़ा हल्की तालियां नहीं, केवल 9 वर्षों में 15 एम्स, 9 वर्षों में 15 एम्स इस देश में बने हैं। इसी तरह आप स्किल इंडिया मिशन, पहले स्किल डिपार्टमेंट एक छोटा सा विंग था, और जब लोग इस देश में महसूस करते थे कि भारत की आबादी बढ़ी है, भारत की आबादी बढ़ी है, आबादी का रोना रोते थे, और मोदी जी ने अपने अनुभव, अपने अध्ययन के आधार पर देखा कि नहीं ठीक है, आबादी बढ़ी है लेकिन 62% से एबव युवा है, और हमारे हाथ में हुनर दे दी जाए तो हम भारत सहित दुनिया में छा सकते हैं। आज भारत के लोग लगभग 4 करोड़ से एबव दुनिया में हैं, हमारे NRI वहाँ, और आज हमारे लोग जो दुनिया में छाए हुए हैं उनको हम तरह की स्किलिंग प्रदान करें कि विद इन इंडिया और आउट ऑफ द कंट्री उनके हाथ की हुनर से स्किल इंडिया मिशन से पूरे दुनिया में हमारे यंग यंगस्टर्स छा जाएं, और हम एक दिन सारे दुनिया में ये ऐसे चेंजेस हुए हैं। इसके नाते अलग डिपार्टमेंट दे करके इसके फिर NAP न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसी जो बनाई हमारी सरकार ने, 36 वर्षों पूर्व ये एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बनी थी, फिर किसी ने रिव्यू नहीं किया। 36 ईयर बिफोर जो हमारी एजुकेशन पॉलिसी थी, लेकिन दुनिया के सामने लोग दुनिया की सिखाई बातों को केवल चलते रहे। हमारी क्षमताओं का, हमारी सभ्यता, हमारे संस्कारों का, हमारे प्राचीन ज्ञान का, इन सब को दुनिया जाने, और दुनिया में जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उस तरह का हम अपने यंगस्टर्स को तैयार करें, उसको ध्यान में रख के 36 ईयर्स बाद एजुकेशन पॉलिसी बनी, 4 वर्षों में सबके सजेशन से, और जब लॉन्च हुई तो उसमें एजुकेशन के साथ साथ स्किलिंग को भी कंबाइन करके इस मिशन को, और तो ये सारे चेंजेस हुए हैं, सारा बढ़ोतरी हुई है, और जिसको लेकर के, और ये सब भारत की आर्थिक समृद्धि का भी बेस बने हैं, और दुनिया में जो वैश्विक पहचान बढ़ी है, भारत की क्षमता बढ़ी, प्रभाव बढ़ा है, वो एक दिन में नहीं, बहुत तैयारी के साथ, बहुत होमवर्क के साथ मोदी सरकार ने किया है। अगर आप लोगों ने कल टीवी देखा होगा, बहुत गेस्ट आते हैं व्हाइट हाउस, अमेरिका कुल भी दुनिया का सबसे विकसित देश है, सबसे एक हाई स्टैंडर्ड डेमोक्रेसी है, लेकिन शायद व्हाइट हाउस में 2-3 हज़ार की गैदरिंग के सीन शायद कल पहले आपको देखा होगा। इस तरह का टैलेंट तो ये मोदी का ही स्वागत नहीं है, भारत का जो विकास हुआ है शिक्षा और हर फील्ड में, उसका स्वागत वहाँ हुआ है। तो ये चेंजेस इतने ज़्यादा हैं।
सर मेरा आपने स्किल और स्किल की महत्ता पर बहुत ज़रूरी बात की। भारत ने विश्व भर में जिस तरह से चीज़ों को हासिल किया है, भारत के युवाओं ने जिस तरह से हासिल किया है, सर स्किल इंडिया का महत्व क्या रहा था आपके कार्यकाल में? हमने एक समय ऐसा देखा जब भारत में ये मान लिया गया था कि आपके पास सरकारी नौकरी है तो आपके पास रोजगार है, और नहीं तो आप बेरोजगार हैं, फिर आप किसी काम के नहीं हैं। लेकिन स्किल इंडिया आने के बाद से क्या भारत के युवाओं में और साथ साथ जो उनसे पुरानी जनरेशन है, क्या उनका मेंटल स्टेचर भी बदला है? ये रवैया, ये दृष्टिकोण बदला है?
निश्चित तौर से बदला है, और आज लोगों में जुनून है, और जो स्किल्ड हैं उनके अंदर लगातार रीस्किलिंग की एक जुनून है, अप स्किलिंग की जुनून है, और निश्चित तौर से ये रवैया बदला है। और लोग हमेशा कुछ नया, आप उसको बहुत अच्छे से प्राइवेट सेक्टर से आप लोग भी जुड़े होंगे और देखते होंगे कैसे नौजवान एक अच्छी नौकरी करते ही उसे तुरंत लगता है कि मेरी अपॉर्चुनिटी, मेरी टैलेंट अब और ऐसी हो गई है, मैं तुरंत इसे छोड़ूं, और उसे वो स्विच ओवर करता है, दूसरा ज्वाइन करता है। तो ये जो बदलाव है, बढ़ाव है, ये आकांक्षाओं का एक बेहतरी है, और इस दृष्टि से उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है। इसका एक गवर्नमेंट का काम है, गवर्नमेंट का काम सरकार की नियमित नौकरियां देना, वो भी गवर्नमेंट कर रही है। आप देख रहे होंगे इधर मोदी जी ने कहा कि केंद्र की 10 लाख नौकरियां जो फाइलें रुकी पड़ी थी, उन पदों को सृजित करना, और जो पद सृजित थे वो अधूरे पड़े थे किसी का, पीएम फोकस करके हर महीने 70-80,000 लोगों को, और अब तक 4,500 लोगों को सरकारी नौकरियां दी जा चुकी हैं। उसमें भी तेजी से काम कर रहे हैं हम लोग, और आप दिसंबर 2023 बीते बीते 10 लाख का टारगेट पार कर जाएंगे। लेकिन इसके साथ साथ गवर्नमेंट का काम है एक देश में एटमॉस्फेयर देना, जिससे लोग नए इनोवेटिव आइडियाज़ के साथ काम करें, इनोवेटिव कंसेप्ट के साथ काम करें। अब आपने मुझे अवसर दिया तो मैं आपको बताऊं, अमेरिका के विकसित होने में, अमेरिका के आगे बढ़ने में, आर्थिक समृद्धि में, जहां एक पक्ष है कि उसके यहाँ स्टार्टअप्स की बड़ी भारी संख्या है, और जब मोदी जी ने, उनकी टीम ने अध्ययन किया कि ये स्टार्टअप्स में भी 1/3 तो हमारे इंडिया, भारतीय मूल के लोग हैं, तो उन्होंने ये विचार किया कि क्यों ना अपने देश में इसको फोकस करें। आपको जान के सभी बहुत ही हाई जेंट्री यहाँ बैठी है, मैं लंबा राजनीतिक सामाजिक मेरा जीवन है, चेहरा देख के बता सकता हूँ, सबने एक बड़ा लंबा जीवन जिया है इनमें से, और सबके लंबे तजुर्बे हैं। 2014 के पहले आज भारत में केवल 100 स्टार्टअप्स थे। मोदी जी के विजनरी अप्रोच और लगातार प्रोत्साहन, ये जो विपक्ष वाले बोलते हैं मोदी जी हर समय यहाँ बोलते हैं वहाँ बोलते हैं, अरे मोदी जी ने बोल के आज हर नौजवान के अंदर एक्सप्रेशन जगाया है, उसके अंदर जोश जगाया है। उसका परिणाम है कि आज भारत के स्टार्टअप जो 200 थे, आज भारतीय लोग 1 लाख से अधिक स्टार्टअप भारत में हो चुके हैं, और हर स्टार्टअप मिनिमम 6 से 7 लोगों को प्रत्यक्ष रोजगार देता है और 60, 70, 80, 900 को अप्रत्यक्ष रोजगार देता है। तो ये सारे अपॉर्चुनिटी, अवसर बढ़े हमारी सरकार के ज़माने में।
डॉक्टर साहब, एक बड़ा दिलचस्प सवाल, और ये सवाल एक्चुअली एक स्कूल स्टूडेंट ने पूछा है। 11th क्लास की लड़की है सुप्रिया, ये हमने एक कॉन्टेस्ट भी कराया था, मैंने आपकी टीम को बताया भी था। जी न्यूज़ के माध्यम से जो लोग हमें देख रहे हैं और IDPL के डिजिटल के माध्यम से जो लोग हमें देख रहे हैं, सर आपको क्या परेशानी आई थी जब विपक्ष ने इस बात को बोलना शुरू कर दिया था? सर वो माइक बदलने के लिए कह रहे हैं। सर उन्होंने, विपक्ष ने ये तैयार कर दिया था कि शायद सरकारी नौकरियां जैसे देश में है ही नहीं, और कोशिश की जा रही है लोगों को कहीं और धक्का दिए जाने की या स्वरोजगार पैदा करने की। ये किस तरह का चैलेंज था उस समय पे? क्या लगा था कि स्किल इंडिया जैसा मिशन, उसको सक्सेसफुल बनाना और लोगों को स्वरोजगार या स्टार्टअप्स की तरफ पर भेजना मुश्किल होगा? ये कितना मुश्किल था?
देखिए, विपक्ष का सवाल आधारहीन था। सरकारी नौकरियों के आंकड़े भी रखे जाएंगे तो हमारी सरकार के 9 साल के कार्यकाल उनके कार्यकाल पर बहुत भारी पड़ेंगे। और कारण उन्होंने, देखिए हम किसी की आलोचना के लिए और कटु आलोचना के लिए नहीं बैठे हैं, बड़ा चेंज आया है। पहले लोग सरकार जो में आते थे, वे सरकार में आने के पहले से ही अपने लिए सपने बुनते थे कि हम किसी तरह सरकार में आए, फिर अपनी पर्सनल इकोनॉमी का ग्रोथ, अपनी टीम का ग्रोथ, अपनी फैमिली का ग्रोथ, फिर अपनी फैमिली, अपनी छोटी सी टीम के फ्यूचर के सिक्योरिटी के लिए सरकारों में प्लानिंग करते थे। और मोदी ने इस देश में ऐसा आह्वान बनाया, ऐसा कल्चर डेवलप किया कि सरकार का मतलब सोसाइटी के लिए, गरीब के लिए, व्यापारी के लिए, बुद्धिजीवी के लिए, प्राध्यापक के लिए, हर एक के सपनों के अनुसार पॉलिसीज बनाना, वो काम करना, और करके दिखाया 9 वर्षों में। कोविड के चैलेंज में भी कैसे इतनी बड़ी कंट्री के को उभार करके ले आया, और अपने देश का तो किया ही क्या, 100 देशों से अधिक लोगों की भलाई किया। तब में किसको नहीं पता है कि अगर फाइजर की वैक्सीन इस देश के सबको लेनी पड़ती तो आज तक भारत में 2 करोड़ से ज़्यादा लोग ले नहीं पाए होते, इतनी महंगी वैक्सीन है। लेकिन अपनी वैक्सीन बना के अपने देश को 100 करोड़ और 100 देशों को और भलाई करना, और 1 नहीं 2 नहीं 222 करोड़ फ्री डोज ऑफ ऑल ओवर कंट्री। दुनिया में कहीं फ्री डोज टोटल नहीं मिला। तो ऐसी सरकार जो है लोगों के लिए काम करती है, तो विपक्ष जो अपने लिए काम करता है वो ऐसे निराधार सवाल करता है। कहीं भी सरकारी नौकरियों को रोका नहीं, उसे बढ़ाया गया है। प्लस ये माना गया कि मात्र सरकारी नौकरियों से ही इतने बड़ी देश की आकांक्षाओं को नहीं पूरा किया जा सकता है, इसलिए अनेक अन्य विकल्पों पर, प्रोत्साहन पर ध्यान दिया गया। उसका परिणाम देशवासी महसूस कर रहे हैं, और उसका परिणाम है आज भारत में दुनिया का मान सम्मान कैसा बढ़ा है।
सर, मेरे 2 आखिरी सवाल और क्विक सवाल पूछूंगा। पहला, हम एजुफ्यूचर एक्सीलेंस अवार्ड में बैठे हैं और आपने इसको ग्रेस किया। सर, बहुत सारे बच्चों ने सवाल पूछे, सबके सवालों को मिक्स करके जो एक सवाल निकल कर आ रहा है, एजुकेशन की इंपॉर्टेंस क्या रही? आपने अभी लोगों के जीवन की बात कही कि चेहरे पर लोगों के जीवन है। सर, जीवन ज्यादा जरूरी और एजुकेशन उसे कैसे इन्हांस करती है? आपकी जीवन में कैसे एजुकेशन की भूमिका रही, अगर आप उस पर थोड़ा सा डाल सके प्रकाश।
मेरे पर्सनल,
जी प्लीज, आपके पर्सनल जीवन की बात करें।
देखिए, मैं एक गांव से निकला हुआ आदमी हूँ और आज भी गांव से जुड़ा रहता हूँ, और गांव से जुड़े इलाके का ही एमपी भी हूँ। राज्य में भी मैं यूपी में कई बार एमएलए रहा, मिनिस्टर रहा। देखिए, एजुकेशन जो है ना, आदमी के व्यक्तिगत जीवन को निखारती है, सोसाइटी में उसकी पहचान बनाती है, उसके अंदर कुछ करने की ललक पैदा करती है। अब जैसे हम जैसे लोग हैं, हम लोग, मेरे पिता LIC में नौकरी करते थे, तो पिता के सपने होते थे कि पढ़ के आगे जो है कहीं नौकरी पा जाए। ग्रेजुएशन किया तभी से नौकरी में लाने की दबाव शुरू हो गई। लेकिन मैं ABVP का वर्कर था, उन दिनों का वर्कर हूँ जब रजत शर्मा जी यहाँ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के जनरल सेक्रेटरी थे। उन्हीं दिनों में अपने आपातकाल में संघर्ष और जेल जाना, DIR में बंद होना, छूट के आना, एक संघर्षशील छात्र नेता था। और उन्हीं दिनों में बनारस यूनिवर्सिटी का स्टूडेंट यूनियन का ABVP के माध्यम से जनरल सेक्रेटरी चुना गया। तो वो एजुकेशन ही ने तो उठा के मुझे गांव से एक साधारण नौकरी की तरफ भेजने की जगह मुझे उस लाइन में लाया। और एजुकेशन का महत्व मैं आपके माध्यम से विद्यार्थियों को, जिन्होंने सवाल पूछा, मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि किसी भी लाइन में रहे, लेकिन सीखने की, पढ़ने की प्रवृत्ति रहनी चाहिए। वो निरंतर आपको आइडियाज़ देती है, निरंतर आपको, जैसे एक कोई डॉक्टर से, मेरे एक डॉक्टर थे, बहुत मशहूर थे, वो थोरेक्सिस सर्जरी के बड़े रिस्पेक्टेबल डॉक्टर थे, BHU में टीके लाहिरी। तो जब वो अपने ऑपरेशन या पेशेंट को देख लेते थे, तो वो उसके बाद बोलते थे, बनारस यूनिवर्सिटी के इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेडिकल साइंसेज BHU के अंदर, तो ज़्यादातर लाइब्रेरी में पाए जाते थे। वो डिवोटेड थे मेडिकल के लिए, इतना डिवोटेड थे कि उन्होंने शादी भी नहीं किया, और ऐसे ही पर्सनल पूरी ज़िंदगी जिया, और मरीजों के लिए, क्यों उनका कहा कि एक जन्म एक ही काम कर सकता हूँ, या तो घर बसाऊँ या तो मरीजों की सेवा करूँ, ऐसा उनका अपना थीम थी। तो जब लाइब्रेरी में मैं 1-2 बार मिला उनको मिल करके, तो उन्होंने कहा आप बहुत लाइब्रेरी में टाइम देते हैं। बोले देखो, हमको प्यार से महेंद्र बोलते, देखो महेंद्र ऐसा है, जब तक लेटेस्ट वर्ल्ड स्टडी क्या है, रिसर्च क्या है, इसके जर्नल्स नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो हम कब के MBBS MS किए हुए हैं, आज की दुनिया कहाँ है, हम कैसे जान पाएंगे। तो एजुकेशन का उसी तरह से मैंने अपनी लाइफ में, मैं MA फाइनल में BHU के जनरल सेक्रेटरी हो गया, उसके बाद में मैंने PhD की, फिर इसके बाद मैंने पत्रकारिता में बैचलर ऑफ जर्नलिज्म और मास्टर ऑफ जर्नलिज्म किया, और नाउ मैं फर्स्ट ऐसा व्यक्ति हूँ इस देश का कि जब मैं UP का, मैं रिसर्च एसोसिएट था लिटरेचर में, मैं नॉन हिंदी स्पीकिंग एरिया पर लिंक लैंग्वेज पर काम कर रहा था और 91 में उस दौरान में यूजीसी के एसोसिएट रहते हुए भारत में एमएलए चुन लिया गया। तो लेकिन मैंने एजुकेशन से अपनी ये प्रवृत्ति पढ़ने लिखने की जारी रखी। तो मैं उन विद्यार्थियों को बताना चाहूँगा कि अपने घर परिवार और स्वयं की आकांक्षाओं पर काम करते हुए भी निरंतर वो नए नए आइडियाज़ और नए नए अध्ययन से जुड़े रहें। उनका जीवन और बेहतर से बेहतर होगा और जीवन ही नहीं बेहतर होगा, सोसाइटी के लिए भी वो बेहतर से बेहतर, कंट्री के लिए भी बेहतर से बेहतर वो करेंगे। मेरी ऐसी शुभेच्छा, ऐसी सलाह।
सर मेरा आखिरी सवाल, यहाँ बहुत बड़े बड़े एजुकेशनिस्ट एकेडमिशियंस बैठे हैं, स्टूडेंट्स आपको कुछ लोग फेसबुक के ज़रिए लाइव भी देख रहे होंगे, कुछ लोग बाद में इस वीडियो को देखेंगे। सर किस तरह से एजुकेशन अब पहले वाली ट्रेडिशनल एजुकेशन नहीं रही और कहाँ बदलाव की ज़रूरत है, और भारत में क्या अब रोज़गार हैं? आप पहले प्रकाश डाल चुके हैं कि किस तरह से अवसर बढ़े हैं, लेकिन भारत एक ग्लोबल पावर बन रहा है, निराश होने की ज़रूरत तो नहीं है? इस पर आपके विचार जानना चाहूँगा।
निश्चित तौर से मोदी जी ने और उनके गाइडेंस में पूरी टीम ने, और माफ़ करिएगा मैं पॉलिटिकल नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, क्योंकि अगर गाइडेंस मिल रहा है तो गाइडेंस को फॉलो करने वाला चाहिए। तो फॉलो करने वाले उदाहरण के रूप में मैं आपको आंसर दे सकता हूँ। अभी हाल में एक चुनाव हुआ कर्नाटक में, उन्होंने 10 किलो हर चीज़ फ्री 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 का बोल दिया। अब वो चावल ढूंढते फिर रहे कि हमें चावल दो, हमें चावल दो। तो ये जो चीज़ें हैं, और ये यहाँ जहाँ मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ भी एक सज्जन है, वो फ्री 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 का स्टाइल करते हैं, और जब घटता है तो केंद्र सरकार से, अरे केंद्र सरकार तो अपनी ड्यूटी करती है, लेकिन नियमों का भी तो पालन करना पड़ेगा। आपने खाद्यान्न वितरण ठीक से नहीं किया है, इसकी भारत सरकार रिपोर्ट हर राज्य से मांगती है, आपसे मांगती है, तो आपको दर्द क्यों होता है? तो इस तरह की जो चीज़ें लोग लाते हैं, मैं आपके माध्यम से कहना चाहूँगा कि एक तरफ दूसरा नज़रिया ये है मोदी जी का, हर नौजवान में, हर विद्यार्थी में वो सपने देखते हैं। वो वही सपने हैं जो अब्दुल कलाम हमारे देश के राष्ट्रपति विद्यार्थियों की आंखों में झांक के देखते थे। सम्मानित बहुत ही अच्छे विद्वान प्रोफेसर थे। तो वो सपने जगाने के लिए सरकार अपॉर्चुनिटी देती है, और नौकरी के साथ साथ अन्य फील्ड में भी कैसे अवसर तलाशे उसका अवसर देती है, और उस तरह की अनुकूलता बनाने का काम भारत सरकार की नीतियाँ, भारत सरकार के निर्णय, उसी तरह की न्यू एजुकेशन पॉलिसीज, ये सब पहले की गई हैं। और इसके साथ साथ सरकार की जो फ्लैगशिप योजनाएं हैं, उन योजनाओं में भी जैसे मुद्रा योजना है, अनेक प्रकार की, एक आम कॉमन मैन की भी चिंता की गई है, और एक पढ़े लिखे नौजवान की। कॉमन मैन की चिंता इतनी है कि मुझे अवसर दिया है तो मैं अपने आपके अवसर का सदुपयोग करना चाहूँगा कि स्ट्रीट वेंडर्स जो कोरोना में प्रभावित थे, पर डे जो रोज कमाते थे, खाते थे, जिनको कोई पूछने वाला नहीं था, उनको भी स्वनिधि योजना से ऐसा अवसर दिया गया कि आज हिंदुस्तान में लगभग 6 करोड़ स्ट्रीट वेंडर उसका लाभ उठा करके 10,000 रुपया लिया, साहूकार और सूद पर पैसे देने वालों से बचा, और उसने रीपे किया, फिर 20,000 मिला, रीपे किया, फिर 30,000 मिला। और मुझे ऐसे ऐसे लोग हैं जो कल ठेला चलाते थे, वे आज ढाबा चला रहे हैं इन्हीं 3 वर्षों के अंदर कोरोना पीरियड में। तो ये उनके लिए भी चेंज हुआ। ऐसे यंगस्टर्स, स्टूडेंट्स के लिए सबको अपॉर्चुनिटी। और मैं तो आह्वान करना चाहूँगा कि आप हर समय अपने रीजन का सोचिए, प्रदेश का सोचिए, देश का सोचिए, और हमेशा वैश्विक सोचिए। आपके नेता ने भारत के अंदर वो दृष्टि दी है, एक हाई बड़ी आकांक्षाओं के साथ हम दुनिया में एक प्रभावी देश बन सकते हैं, और जिसके अंदर यह विजन है कि हम आज़ादी के 75 वर्षों में पहुंच चुके हैं, और हम अब इतने वर्षों में जो चीज़ें होनी चाहिए वो नहीं हुई, लेकिन 9 वर्षों में एक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का डेवलपमेंट हो, जीरो टॉलरेंट का, सरकार करप्शन के लिए ऊपर जीरो टॉलरेंस और करके दिखाया। अब ये छोटी बात नहीं है कि 10 बरस जैसे धारावाहिक की सीरीज होती है वैसे धारावाहिक घोटाले होते रहे, और 2014 से आज 23 तक 9 बरस बीत गए, 10वें में हम प्रवेश कर गए हैं, एक भी घोटाला देश के अंदर नहीं हुआ। तो ये क्या है? ये है कि हमारे देश में है, राइट वे में जाएंगे तो हम देश दुनिया में हम छा सकते हैं, और हम उस दिशा में काम कर रहे हैं। और मैं यंगस्टर्स को आपके माध्यम से और बड़े विद्वान जनों को यही भरोसा देना चाहूँगा कि आपके इस नेता ने कल 2047 में हम रहे न रहे, कोई रहे न रहे, ईश्वर करे बहुत लोग रहें, सबकी आयु अच्छी हो, लेकिन 2047 में हम अमृत काल में, नेता क्या होता है? नेता का केवल इतनी काम है कि सड़क बना देना, बिजली दे देना, पानी दे देना, सफाई करा देना, हेल्थ की सुविधा, ये तो है ही, लेकिन उसको दृष्टि देना सोसाइटी, उसको विजन देना सोसाइटी को। तो विजन दिया है मोदी जी ने कि हम एक संकल्प के साथ अमृतकाल में चलें कि 2047 में हम दुनिया के सबसे बड़े, जो आपने कहा ग्लोबल हमारा एक्सेप्टेंस बढ़ा है, तो हम ग्लोबल लेवल पर सबसे विकसित कंट्री बने, और इस दिशा में हम बढ़ रहे हैं, केवल कह नहीं रहे हैं। हम 11वीं अर्थव्यवस्था से 2014 के पहले आज हम 5वीं हैं, और इकोनॉमिस्ट का आकलन है कि हम 1, 2, 3, 4 वर्षों में आते आते चौथी और तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था की तरफ बढ़ सकते हैं। तो ये एक प्रमाण है कि हम उस दिशा में बढ़ रहे हैं, और वो सपने आपके अंदर प्रधानमंत्री जगा रहे हैं, नरेंद्र मोदी जगा रहे हैं। मैं इस अवसर पर युवाओं को कहना चाहूँगा, वो सपने हैं हमारे, आपके नहीं, आपके सपने, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत से यंगस्टर जो हैं वो 2047 में बिल्कुल अपनी परिपक्व अवस्था में रहेंगे, वो विकसित भारत देखना चाहते हैं, तो मोदी के सपनों के साथ अपने सपने जोड़ते हुए देश को आगे ले जाए।
क्या बात है सर। सर, आपने अपने जीवन से इतने प्रेरणादायी बातें हमें बताई, आपने देश एक विजन की तरफ कहाँ पहुँच रहा है इस बारे में हमसे बात की, और आपकी टीम लगातार हमें इशारा भी कर रही है। इतने बिजी स्केड्यूल में से आपने हमारे लिए समय निकाला, मैं आपका बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ। जी न्यूज़ आपका बहुत
धन्यवाद आपको। एक बार सभी जो लोग चले गए उनसे भी, मैं जो 45 मिनट लेट आया उसके लिए माफ़ी चाहूँगा।
नहीं नहीं सर, मैं चाहूँगा सभी लोग खड़े होकर सर के सम्मान में जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए। Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sri Mahendranath Pandey ji. I would also request you to please stay on the stage, as we would like to award our last winner for today's event, and the award for Most Trusted Global Kids Education Brand. The award goes to Brain O'Brain Kids Academy. But first, let's have a look at the AD.
Welcome to Brain Kids Academy, unlocking the genius within. At Brain, we believe every child is unique and possesses immense potential. Our mission is to nurture their talent, boost their creativity, and empower them with essential life skills. Our innovative Brain program combines the power of mental arithmetic and personality development. It stimulates both hemispheres of the brain, enhancing cognitive abilities, concentration, memory, and problem-solving skills. Our experienced and dedicated instructors
Right, I would now request Dr. Loya, Chief Innovation Technology Group Officer, to present a memento to our chief guest, Sri Mahendranath Pandey. A round of applause for our chief guest, Sri Mahendranath Pandey, Minister of Heavy Industries. Thank you, sir, for being with us today and gracing us with your presence. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this show would not have been possible without our sponsors, Recharge Partner Paytm, driven by Honda, Special Partner Chroma, Outdoor Partner Prabhatam, Knowledge Partner EduStart, and Associate Partner Dayanand Group of Institutions. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all of you for taking out time from your busy schedule and attending today's event, with special mentions to those who enlightened us with their thoughts and participated wholeheartedly, making this event a grand success. Please join us for lunch outside. Thanks very much.